Introducing Pubcoin. Pubcoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into Pubcoins. Pubcoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Upgrade your membership to Gold. You will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Kencan. Kenny Kencan wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can Smoke and Mirrors. Director 97 home. That is why here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian. Billy Friedrich. Joe's one all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the corporate Peter Low Shack, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a dawn. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this they quick the trip. But we say we be pubbing, better with the bag and you love it. We want a top 10, we above it. Let's check.
What up, campers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, October 23rd to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Nice bounce back in NBA. Was very frustrated after that Tuesday night opener. 1-4, 7-1 last night. Feeling good, pumped up. 1-1 in NHL. We have a monster NHL card for us to attack today. We have Bobano rocking with us. We have Bobano. We're going to briefly touch on CFL very, very quick. We're not going to cap it. We'll just hear his action. Go into the Thursday night football. Then we have Daby Cab for college football. We're going to talk about tonight's game, Georgia State. Then we're also going to go into his best bets for the weekend. Then we roll into NBA with Justin Mcelvey and Biily Brisbane. That is the plan of attack. Justin Mcelvey stacks plays today 1 and 2. Pacers over 111.5 points, which is, I think, very sharp. Some discussions about this Pacers team, and it makes sense for you to attack it in that fashion. Jokic 12 or more rebounds. We have, let's get this here. All copied and pasted so we can discuss. We're going to have to move quickly with Bobano. We have 11 games in NHL, so hopefully I can get this all copied and pasted and locked in. So as soon as he's backstage, we can attack. I've got all these. There's a couple of things that were keeping me busy. Obviously, it's just an enormous card, but I haven't locked in NHL yet. And there's a whole bunch of spots I want to attack. I just decided the time that would take at that point just to keep moving and capping. And then I will, after capping with you guys and Ian Cameron, I will fire then away. We got Gorky's plays of the day in as well. There's Christopher Ing in the house, as I know San Antonio very happy today with Wemby. 40-15. The Spurs were a smash and grab for us. I loved it. We got Island Boy 305. Cream, get the money. Serious Business, Nuke Worker, AOD, We Do, Spooner, Chappie, Funk, and there is Swiggy shouting out our gold members, Gorky, AM, Crystal, Craig, Chris Boggin. Thank you guys so much. It means a ton to us and to our silver members as well who are part of our Discord. We got Nicholas Handy, Michael Johnson in the house, and Swiggy talking about the success of yesterday. Dutch Boy Fresh also having a big day. Hector Garcia, Res Mob, Dizzy Donuts, Talk Sports with JT. Let's get his basketball action here, copied and pasted. Here we go. Man, Bear, Pig in the house. And yes, Ray Charles, a lot of talk about what's going on. And, Terry Rozier, I don't care that much about. I'm a fan of his. But Chauncey hurts. Chauncey hurts. Ulysses Hayes in the house. Look at that. Wow. Ulysses Hayes, we have missed you. Great NHL capper. Also, a monster ping pong capper. This guy is the best ping pong capper in the game. Shout out to our guy, Ulysses Hayes. And that's Big Daddy Boom, Strategic Investments, Kyle Hintlian. I love it. Kyle Hintlian, Res Mob said perfect day for him yesterday. AM, Chappie, Funk, Talk Sports with JT. There's our guy, Kyle Hintlian, blessing our action with a 1999 dono just to pump us up and keep us ready to attack this card. Thank you, Kyle. You are a great friend of the show, and thank you enormously for your support. Yes, Energy Monster card. BJ, best bet is the Chargers. -3. Interesting. It doesn't fit the MO for you, BJ, as the Chargers have become public. See if anything's changed in the last little bit. Not as public. Interesting. I mean, I guess you're expecting us to close at a flat 3. I mean, we'll talk all about this in due time, but let's just see if we have. I don't know. Interesting. Now, I guess if we show up tonight and it's a flat 3.5, you'll be feeling good about yourself. But it doesn't really fit the MO that you dominate, BJ. Also, I have faded the Chargers 4 straight weeks, and I'm making it 5 here. Just 1.5 units against them. Turnsey in the house has crushed the Sabres for 3 units against my team. Turnsey, that cap was spectacular. And of course, it comes from a great hockey player himself in his day to understand that the Sabres were going to play hard for their, this kid playing his first ever game, and that the Red Wings, after 5 straight wins, would take this lightly in Buffalo. In front of a small crowd. Great job. Slatsy on the Blackhawks. It says, go Habs, go. Even when the market is against the Habs, they continue to be victorious. What a team. We have Nice in the house. Thank you for joining us. Just my 2 cents. Irish King, Mark Stasowski. What a group. Tyler Flowers. Thank you guys for rocking with us. It is wonderful. Slatsy just bet the Dodgers to win game 1 and the series at plus 100. Stand on Biz. Ronnie Lofton, Strategic Investments, Old E, Hooligan Cappers. His name is Hooligan Cappers. I'm not calling you guys all Hooligan Cappers, even though there's nothing wrong with a little hooliganism. Mark A, Joseph Gomez. Great to see all of you guys. AJ Stogstill. Thank you guys for rocking. Yes, that is an old school San Antonio hat, Chappie. Good call, my friend. Good call. Sancho ready to go. Fat Wally in the house. Thank you guys for joining us. Joseph Gomez, I'm pumped up. Let's get right to work. Let's attack. We attack heavier when we are winning and succeeding. We don't want to have heavy volume when we're losing. We take bigger risks when we lose. We understand the psychology around losing. But when we're winning and we're succeeding, we're thinking sharp, we fire and we fire and we fire again. Please welcome our star of Thursdays here on Betting with the Bag. Also, the star of the Ice Guys, star of the Hitting the Books YouTube channel and the NBA OG show. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Ian Cameron, to the show. Bobano, how are you?
I'm good, Jimmy. We've got obviously not a lot of time, and we got a lot of NHL games, so let's hop right into it.
Let's attack. We start at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Chicago Blackhawks 3-2-2, 1-1-1 on the road at the Tampa Bay Lightning. 1-3-2, 0-2-0 at home. Just one regulation victory for the Tampa Bay Lightning, but Kucherov is expected back. We'll go over all of the injury reports here. We have Spencer Knight going up against Andrei Vasilevsky again. These goaltending, the plan for us as cappers changes quite briskly around now with goaltending decisions being made. So let me know if I'm on the wrong track with any of these goaltenders. Spencer Knight, 2-2-1, 1.95 goals against average, 937 save percentage. He's looked excellent. He has looked excellent. Andrei Vasilevsky, 0-2-2, 3.49 goals against average, 884 save percentage, 0 shots. We know what Spencer Knight needs. Consistency and comfort. He's got obsessive compulsive disorder. He needs to be in a rhythm, and he has found that right now with the Blackhawks, and I love it. A lot of people have to deal with this. This is not it's not a rare thing anymore, and he is shining right now, and I hope he continues to do so. Chicago power play 18.2%, 22nd in the National Hockey League. Their penalty killing 81.8%, 14th. I expected their penalty killing to be strong. They, Dickinson and others, face-off winners, accountable defensive forwards. I expected their power play to be better than it has been with, of course, Connor at center, Connor Bedard. Tampa Bay power play 10th in the league, 25%. That's only half the year with Kucherov, who's been sick. 90.5% penalty killing is very impressive, and Vasilevsky has not been good. Let's go over the line history here for this one. We have, I thought I had this over to NHL. Sorry, let's get back to NHL here. Oh, I flipped over to NFL because I wanted to see BJ's bullishness. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning minus 310. It is not cheap. Opened up minus 300, started moving slightly towards the Blackhawks, and it's come back. It is not cheap. From a total standpoint, we have a 6 at minus 115 to the over. This was a pseudo 6.5, not a real one. It was a plus 113 to the over and minus 130 to the under. This is about where it should be. And we have the Blackhawks coming off their third win in 4 games, a 2-1 overtime victory at home over the Ducks on Sunday. Lightning finished off their road trip with 3 straight low-scoring road losses, 3-2 at Washington in overtime, 2-1 at Detroit in overtime, and then 3-2 at Columbus on Saturday night. Now, this is game 1 of a 3-game homestand. They get Kucherov back for this. I'm going to go over the injury report very, very quickly here before we hand it over to Bobano. Now, Jason Dickinson is out until the 26th. We talked about the ability of this Blackhawks penalty kill, 81.8%. Well, he's the star of it, I believe. He is out of the lineup. That's a big loss. We saw it at the end of last season, too. He's one of those guys that makes your team more than the sum of your parts. Tampa Bay Lightning, on the other hand, are getting Kucherov back, which they sorely need. Nick Paul out. They sorely need him as well. Now, Maxwell Crozier, a young defenseman, as well as Gergensen, depth forward, out of the lineup. Bobano, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, I'm on Chicago, but I'm on puck line Chicago, just to be safe. Tampa Bay has not won a game by more than 1 goal this year. They've got 1 win on the season, and that win was a 4-3 win at Boston, who aren't very good. So, but not a ringing endorsement of the Lightning winning games comfortably or winning games by margin. And then on the flip side, you have a Chicago team that hasn't lost a game by more than 1 goal this year. All Chicago losses, 1 goal lost to Florida, 1 goal lost to Boston, 1 goal lost to Montreal, 1 goal lost to Vancouver. They have not lost a game by more than 1 goal. I think it's a great bet. I don't trust Tampa right now. They're not in great form. Certainly Kucherov being back helps, but I like the way Knight's playing. Tough to get a margin against Spencer Knight, too, the way he's going in net right now. So Chicago plus 1.5 plus, what's the best price on that? Oh, we can get plus money on that. Excellent. Chicago plus 1.5 plus 105.
I like the Blackhawks, but I think the Tampa Bay Lightning are an absolute powder keg in this situation. They're so angry. They're having in-house meetings. They have Kucherov coming back. That was a long road trip. I am with JW. I'm going to be on the other side of this. You got Slatsy on your side. You are in a great company.
Tampa Bay's won, or Chicago rather, has won 2 in a row in Tampa, believe it or not, in this building. So some success here recently for the Blackhawks.
Without a doubt. And with the way, if we take on what we've seen so far this year, absolutely, it makes absolute sense. What I'm going to do here is not take in what we've seen all year and focus on what I believe this team is. And with Kucherov coming back and angry.
You know what's hurt Tampa Bay is Hedman and McDonough don't look right. They have not had a great start to the year. They look old. They're starting to look like the tread on the tires is starting to show.
McDonough for sure. I think Hedman deserves a little bit more time here in this one. We have TJ on Chicago +2 at -134. JM on Chicago +2.5. I completely understand. Based on the stats,
I've got money line on Chicago too, but I'm being safer with the official play. I've got more on the puck line with the +1.5. Yeah.
Oh no, I get it. There's different ways of capping. One is focusing on what we've seen and using that as a sample size of statistics, basing our bet around that.
And it's case by case. What you've seen told you to bet Detroit yesterday. It didn't win, and I didn't. And I did bet Detroit, but I also what we've seen said bet Montreal yesterday, and that did win. So again, it's case by case.
Yeah, no,
it's case by case.
And I get it. And look, you've been very strong as always to start out the year. We are here just Thursday sample size of stats. You're not hitting as high as you are over on the course of the season. Of course, it's a strange sample size with only Thursdays.
Thursday's been one of my best days so far this year, which unlike last year. So that's been the difference.
And AM says these opening lines are telling. I think this opening line is extremely telling. I think it couldn't be more telling. They clearly want Blackhawks action here to me. But then I said this about that loss at Detroit, but we didn't know that Kucherov wasn't going to be in the lineup for that. So we're on the different sides here of the puck line. Bobano on the Blackhawks +1.5, Lightning on -1.5 for me, but I haven't bet it yet. Let's roll on. Next up for a 7 p.m. Eastern with the Anaheim Ducks, 3-2-1, 2-1-1 on the road at the Boston Bruins, 3-5-0, 2-2-0 at home. Shout out to our guy Biily Friedrich as well, cashing the pig milk play of the day yesterday on the first period under in Detroit, Buffalo. We have Mrazek confirmed here and Korpisalo confirmed. Mrazek and Korpisalo confirmed. Interesting. I'm going to have to double down on some stats here because I don't have that listed.
It smells like a 6-5 game waiting to happen with those two stiffs in net.
God, what has Mrazek done? I got to take a quick look at what Mrazek has done. Good God. I was shocked.
But that was the 7-6 game against San Jose where they scored 7, but he gave up 6 and they won.
Oh God, I'm
Korpisalo's been bad. Yep.
Astonished that he's been given yet another opportunity here.
Well, they don't want to run Dostal into the ground. I think that's
but that he even has a job in the NHL.
Yeah,
that's what more I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The answer to that, Billy, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because he had Detroit a couple times. 6 different NHL teams here. Okay, let's roll on here. God, what did I do? Okay, there we go. Sorry, let me get this off my screen. Okay, let's roll here. We have Anaheim power play at 20%, 17th ranked in the National Hockey League. Their penalty killing, 78.6%, ranked 18th. Boston power play 16.7%, ranked 24th. And their penalty killing, as one would expect, 87.9%, ranked 8th. It's been pretty good. The Ducks are on game 3 of a 5-game road trip. They opened with a 2-1 overtime loss at Chicago on Sunday before winning in Nashville 5-2 on Tuesday. Bruins coming off their 5th straight loss, 4-3 at home to the Panthers on Tuesday. I had thought that Anaheim was probably going to end up on my card. I don't think it can happen now. The total opened up at 5.5. It was heavily juiced to the over. This was yesterday at 12:34 p.m. And I guess there was some hints that the goalies would be this way because it just moved constantly to the over, every minute more to the over. Since the goalie has been announced, we've gone from 6 to 6.5. There's been a 20-cent move on the 6 here at the site that I'm looking at where we used to play poker. On the money line here, we have the Bruins at minus 114. They opened up at minus 115. And injury-wise, the Ducks missing Kreider. He's sick. I'm not sure if he will be available. They're clearly missing Ryan Strome and his veteran leadership on the ice. So they're not in. So is Jansen Harkins, but that's more of a depth piece. For the Bruins, Hampus Lindholm still banged up day-to-day. Bobano, take it away.
Probably not going to play Lindholm because he stayed out after practice or morning skate this morning with the scratches. So it's kind of an indicator that Hampus Lindholm will not be back tonight for Boston. Yeah, I'm okay with taking Anaheim, even with Mrazek. Now I'm gonna split this. I'm gonna go Anaheim plus 105, Anaheim team total over 3, which is minus 115, and I'm going over the full game, over 6, minus 120. I don't trust either goalie, so 3 bets there: Ducks money line, Ducks team total over, and also the full game over 6. By the way, Anaheim has really played well against Boston. They've won 2 times in a row at TD Garden. They've won in Boston each of the last 2 visits. 2 years ago they won in Boston. Last year they won in Boston. Last year they won in Anaheim as well, 6-2. So they've won 3 in a row overall against this Boston Bruins team. And at the moment, they're the better team right now, the Anaheim Ducks. Boston's lost 5 in a row. They've given up 21 goals during that 5-game losing streak. And think about the spot for Boston. That was an emotional night. That was an emotional powder keg against Florida the other night, the defending champs. Brad Marchand making his first return to the Garden as a member of the Panthers in that game. And then to battle your ass off, fall down, tie the game, look like you're going to go to overtime and get a point, and then to lose it on the final minute. In the final minute with just this cruel, bizarre goal that ricochets in past Swayman and you lose. I think it's a hangover spot, personally, for the Boston Bruins. They're just not playing good hockey right now. They're looking like the Bruins we thought they would look like coming into the year, one of the lower-tier teams in the East. So, Anaheim for me, split with the money line, team total over, full game over.
I'm with Billy. I think the most appealing of those 3 bets is that Ducks team total over, getting the flat 3. I would like to join in on that. I'm with you, Billy. I really like that spot. Bobano firing 3 shots at Ducks Bruins. Let's roll on 7 p.m. Eastern with the Philadelphia Flyers 3-2-1, 0-1-1 on the road to the Ottawa Senators 3-2-1, 0-1-1. Oh, I copied that twice. My bad. That's not their record. My apologies there. Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, Ontario. Now I got Vladar versus Yulmark. Vladar versus Yulmark. Let me know if that is wrong. Shout out to Lucky Lefty in the house. Hope you and the family and Tata and young King Zaire are doing great. We have Yulmark 2-3-1, 3.80 goals against average, 854 save percentage. That was something I did not expect here.
Yeah, Vladar is likely, and it is Yulmark. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I did not expect Yulmark to come out of the gate so poor. Philadelphia power play 15.8%, ranked 25th in the National Hockey League. I think I expected a little more. They have a young group, and I expect a young defensive core of the power play. I expect them to be a little better than this. Maybe that will come. 83.3% penalty killing. It's a Rick Tocchet team, always has strong penalty killing. Ottawa, 26.1% power play, ranked 8th, and that's without Brady Tkachuk. So that's impressive. And they're starting to get more used to it. The problem here, and the elephant in the room, is they are the worst penalty kill in the National Hockey League, 57.7%, and it is a real problem. We have the Flyers finishing up their 4-game homestand 3-1. It was impressive. Ended with a 5-2 victory over Seattle on Monday. We were on that. We were all not from Medicate Monday. Ottawa comes in off their 5th loss in 6 games, 3-2 in overtime versus the Oilers on Tuesday. And this concludes a 4-game homestand. And when you're not playing well, I kind of like that. Ristolainen out. I don't think it's a big deal. Ethan Sampson's also out. So a depth piece. Let's take a look at this line history here and hand it over to Mr. Ian Cameron. We have the Senators opening up at minus 143, and they're now minus 157. I really feel like, the money line is speaking here. Ottawa should not be this big of a favorite without Tkachuk. They're starting to get more comfortable without Tkachuk. Do the Flyers have a power play that can take advantage of this meek Ottawa penalty kill? It's questionable. This is a situation where I'm getting closer and closer towards backing Ottawa at a very expensive number. This total opened up at 5.5 minus 125 to the over. Started moving to the over pretty quick. As soon as it got to 6, it started sneaking back to the under. The under's now at minus 112. It certainly has gone up, though, in total. Take it away from me. Take it away, my man, Bobano, Flyers, Senators.
Well, you may not have been able to say before the last game that Philadelphia's power play would take advantage of, because power play had been sputtering, but they went 2 for 4 in their win against Seattle the other night. So very good sign for this Flyers power play. And you mentioned how good the penalty kill is, a Rick Tocchet staple. I am taking the Flyers here. I mean, Ottawa's just not a team I trust in this kind of a price range. I don't trust Allmark. He's not been good. He's struggled. Defense has struggled in front of him. Dan Darthledar has looked pretty solid every time I've seen him. My one hesitation here, I guess, and concern would be Philly's road record long-term is not good. And going back to last year with Tortorella, they did struggle on the road. But it's a new season, and you have to look at the losses on the road this year, even though they're 0-2. They played Florida and Carolina, and they lost by a goal. Those are 2 really good teams. Those are, defending champs, and Carolina's my pick to win the East. So even though they lost those 2 road games, they played damn good. Well, damn good as far as, they were competitive. They had a great chance to win those games. They were right in it against good competition. So, yeah, to me, it's just the form of these 2 teams does not equate to what we're seeing in this price, in my opinion. So, yeah, for me, I'll take Philly plus 140.
Yeah, again, there's nothing I can say with that breakdown. I love capping hockey with you. It's a sharp breakdown. Ottawa should not be this expensive. But, I've changed my capping of sorts in the last little while where I kind of want things to be expensive. And, if the situation was reversed and the Flyers weren't leaving a very successful homestand feeling good about themselves in Ottawa, in a rough spot to start out the year, a year they had a ton of hope for, and final game of a homestand about to leave. There's so much on the line for the Senators to succeed here, and I think that they can and will. Now, AM says in this minus 140, minus 175 price range, when you spot teams mispriced, believe the books. Believe the books you will eat. Yeah, I mean, I get it. The Flyers, the implied probability does not make sense here. And if you were focusing on only implied probability, the Flyers would have to be bet. Yeah. Situationally, I'm going to be on the other side here. Again, I'll be with Ottawa -1. Bobano on the Flyers at plus.
And again, it's case by case. We had 2 of these type of games last night where Detroit was the clear current form better team than Buffalo and didn't win. Montreal was the clear current form better team than Calgary, and they did win. So again, doesn't mean that every time you bet teams like Ottawa and Tampa in these spots you're going to win, and it doesn't mean you're going to betting Philly and Chicago in spots like these you're going to win every single time. It's case by case.
It is.
Depends on your philosophy. Yeah.
And I have to think that Drew steps
I had
up.
more money on Montreal, though. I had more faith that Calgary was in a worse spot than Buffalo last night. So we made out with profit in that with those 2 games.
And that took real conviction.
Yeah.
Because that market was saying, hey.
Screaming Calgary. Yeah.
Oh, it was insane. Wasn't that price absolutely insane? It was so insane that I had to stay off of it.
I'd say Calgary's a horror show right now. I still have to take Montreal, and thankfully it worked out.
Yeah, no, I get it. And JW saying that the Sens got killed by the Predators in this price range. Yeah. And what happened after that? I mean, they lost Tkachuk in that game. Then they lose 8-4 to Buffalo. Look, this is a team in shambles, and I can understand nobody wanting to have anything to do with them. So, look, We don't need to take the same.
Can't blame Shane Pinto, though. He's playing really good.
He's a beast. Let's roll on. Next up, 7 p.m. Eastern, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-2-0, 3-1-0 on the road to the Florida Panthers 4-4-0, undefeated at home. Amerant Bank Arena in Sunrise, Florida. I've got Shilovs listed, and they should have him starting. He should be the guy moving forward. 3-1-0, 2.25 goals against average, 919 save percentage, 1 shutout. Bobrovsky on the other side, I've got listed. Again, tell me if I'm wrong, but he's looked very strong here to start the season, a difficult season here. We have Pittsburgh here at 26.3% power play, 6th in the league, 81.8%. What's up?
Let's make a correction on this with Pittsburgh starting goalie. It's Tristan Jarry in net.
Well, that makes it even better for me because I want to fade them. All right, we have Yari. Thank you. This is crucial information here. For Florida, 20.6% power play ranked 15th, 82.8% penalty kill. Now, I don't know if I get to the Panthers, and I'd love to hear Bobano's breakdown because it was a very emotional hockey game they're coming off of. But it was their first win on a 5-game road trip. And
you need to build momentum. Whereas Boston, you're a shit team, you know it, and you lose a game like that. I don't trust Boston tonight. Florida's a different animal. Yes, it was emotional. Yes, it was big for Brad Marchand. But you can't just say, wow, that was an emotional game. Back down we go tonight. No, you had a bad road trip. You finally got a win. It's time to build momentum tonight if you're Florida. That's kind of how I see it.
I think that makes a ton of sense. This total juice to the under at 6.5 became more and more juice until it became a flat 6. That's what we're dealing with here. On the money line here, we have Florida at minus 190. Just a huge move towards Pittsburgh. I wonder if that comes back now with the goalie change. The Florida opening up at minus 220, now at minus 190. Florida opening up at plus 191, and it was an immediate. So this move back to Pittsburgh to plus 166 from plus 191 all happened by 6:30 p.m. yesterday. I wonder if those gamblers are sitting there going, "Good God, now I have Yari in net." Like, I wonder if they're upset of getting in early, even though the focus is on beating these lines.
Play devil's advocate, he is off a 31 save shutout against San Jose. You don't trust him to keep that going, Jari?
Kevin Hayes still out of the lineup. So is Rutger McGroarty, but they are getting the Penguins are getting healthier. By the minute, and the same deal with Florida. They have Nosek now out till December 10th. And Kulikov out till March 17th. These Kulikov, Kachuk, Nosek, and Barkov, get used to seeing them on the injury report. Bobano, take it away.
This side I'm with you on. I'm not betting the game, but it would be Florida or nothing for me in this game, especially now that Tristan Jarry is confirmed in net. And look, Jarry had a 31 save shutout against San Jose. Good for him. San Jose hasn't won a hockey game yet this year. So let's pump the brakes about how good that performance was in that game. And I've seen enough Jarry to know when he plays a game like that, usually goes downhill and goes the other way the next time we see him in net. So it would not surprise me to see Jarry maybe struggle a little bit here tonight in this game. So, yeah, this would be Florida or nothing for me. Maybe I'll dabble lightly in the Panthers team total over 3.5. I could see that maybe coming through, but no bet for me officially for the show.
I may get to Florida. The issue is, and we talked about at the beginning of the year, the Penguins come out of the gate rolling every year. Why? Because of Sidney Crosby and the accountability that he creates.
They've had decent Octobers, correct.
Yeah. Last year, remember who was the leading scorer after 11 games? Evgeny Malkin.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
He's actually started pretty well. Him and Mantha and fucking Brazeau on that second line. I can't believe how well that trio's going right now. Now, it's not going to keep going indefinitely, in my opinion, but right now they're playing well.
We roll on. Detroit Red Wings 5-2-0, 1-1-0 on the road at the New York Islanders, 3-3-0, 2-2-0 at home at UBS Arena in Elmont, New York. We have Cam Talbot and David Riddick listed. Cam Talbot, we do think will be in net. He wasn't in net last night in the second half. This is second half back-to-back. Red Wings had their 5-game winning streak snapped, a 4-2 loss at Buffalo last night. Turnsey absolutely crushed it. Now, Billy, did I miss pig milk for today? Because I know that was pig milk yesterday. Don't think I missed it today, but please let me know if I have somehow missed it here. I just went over.
I think it's this game, and I think I saw that it's Red Wings Islanders first period under, which is semi against what I like in this game.
How did I miss that? Can you pop it in the chat one more time here for me, Billy? And I apologize. Pig milk cash yesterday. There it is, right there. You're right. Pig milk play of the day. Thank you. Is the first period under 1.5. The Red Wings are playing a very accountable sort of hockey, kind of hockey that McClellan creates here. Spreadsheet play of the day is in. I'm going to copy and paste that in a second. But shout out to our guy, Biily Friedrich, getting that cash. Pig milk play of the day is in business. And shout out to Sweet Pig milk. Now, Matthew Green says New York Islanders are the best over team in the NHL. Why taken under? When you do that, you're talking about who you expect to dictate the pace. Now, obviously, the Islanders are a completely different team than we've seen the last couple of years, and Schaefer looks like an absolute beast. Detroit power play 20%, 16th in the National Hockey League. Their penalty killing is 6th, 88.9%. New York Islanders power play at 22.7%. Their penalty killing at 73.7%. That is 23rd in the National Hockey League. Let's touch on Detroit. Still Patty Kane out of the lineup. He'll be out of the lineup a lot this year. I hope he can get to the 50-game mark. It's tough for him. His body's pretty broken, and this is a tough league. For the Islanders here, we have a ton of injuries. Now, they've been handling it very well. First off, Romanov and Ethan Bear are out right now. So two, depth defense. Romanov's more than a depth defenseman. Shabanov, right winger, and Pierre Engvall, left winger, are both out of the lineup as well. So is Jesse Nurmi. I don't know how important Nurmi being out is. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. Here we go. We have these Red Wings at plus 119. They opened up at plus 115. They got up to plus 126, but then there was buyback. Plus 126 doesn't make sense to me. But I don't like this Islanders group. I also find them difficult to cap when I think it's fair to say, Ian, this was the easiest team to cap over the last few years. We just knew especially when they were in Brooklyn. I mean, we just knew the sleepy Brooklyns that all the Western teams would lose. They were playing a defensive brand of hockey. Everything changed to me with the D'Angelo pickup. And then one thing, it's taking D'Angelo. It's another thing, having him play 23 minutes a game on the first line. It's such a different team than I'm used to. Pelican Pullock didn't take the next steps that I thought they would. This total opened up juice to the under at minus 150. Now it's juice to the over. 11 cents of movement towards the over. The Islanders coming up their third straight win, 4-3 at home over the Sharks on Tuesday. But they embark on a 4-game road trip after this. I believe it's just an Eastern swing. I don't have it in front of me. I believe it's not I would have written if it was a Western swing, so it's just around the East, so it's not a big deal. But I kind of want to fade them here. Take it away for us, Bobano, Wings Islanders.
Yeah, this is I kind of lean Detroit. I'm on the over, though. I've been on these Islanders overs. I think I mentioned it last week on the show. Every game has gone over 5.5. There's only 6s now, but I like the 6 still. Over 6 minus 104. Over 6 minus 104 with this. Every Islander game's had 6 goals or minimum, and 4 of the 6 have had 7 goals or more. And when you watch this Islander team play, their offense has improved. Their defense has declined. Schaefer's great. Nobody else is. This is my opinion. Mayfield's not looked great. Pelican Pullock have really declined significantly. And you wonder if all those injuries they've suffered have just chipped away at their ability to play at a high level. And then the goaltending's been, not great. Sorokin's been struggling. And I don't trust Big Civ David Riddick, who's going to get the start tonight for the Islanders in this game. So I think the Red Wings will score. The one thing, too, about the Red Wings is they have been trending under, but I could see with this being a back-to-back spot, fatigue setting in, more sloppiness, more mistakes defensively. Islanders pounce on them. I think Detroit scores, though. Their offense has been in good form of late. So, and by the way, 4 of the 6 meetings have gone over. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the Red Wings and Islanders. So over 6 minus 104.
Over 6 minus 104. Ricky Levine in the house. My man, Ricky. By the way, his grandson, a spectacular young goaltender that we will be keeping an eye on. I believe he's 14. Maybe he turned 15 last little bit, but
wow.
A very, very highly ranked, talented young goaltender. And for him, he's Canes money line, Philly, Pittsburgh, parlay, and Kings under here. Let's get that here copied and pasted. There we go. Okay, let's roll on. Yeah, TJ, I remember when you bet it. You messaged me when you bet it. 5.5. Right when Jaden Daniels went down, it's a thing of beauty, dude, as usual. Let's roll on. Sharks, Rangers, Madison Square Garden in New York, New York. I'm telling you, if Klingberg and Liljegren were in the lineup, I would be on the Sharks here. I want to. The Rangers coming off 4th loss in 5 games, 3-1 at home to Wild on Monday, and they go out west after this, a 4-game road trip. They're just not going to be focused. Now, do I want to mess with Shesterkin? He's been spectacular. 1.17 goals against average, 956 save percentage. I got Needles listed. I don't know if he'll be in there. 3.69 goals against average, 890 save percentage. San Jose power play 12th in the league, 23.8%. Penalty killing, 68.4%. Terrible. Rangers power play 15% power play. I mean, at some point, Bobano, do we say, I think Adam Fox is not the defenseman that we thought he was. He's not elite. He's not a Norris Trophy caliber defenseman. At some point, we're like, look, is Adam Fox a problem?
Yep.
It's just shocking that this team has fallen apart the way they have. Let's take a look at this line history. You guys know you have 2 of your top 4 defensemen out. You fade them. I can't really do that here. This total is a 6. It's -110 to the over. It opened up at 5.5, heavily juiced to the over. I mean, will there be goals? It's certainly not. Shesterkin's a tough nut to crack. Then you have the Rangers. They opened up -280. They're now -260. Take it away.
Yeah, this is not a game I'm going to get involved with. I mean, I took a small shot with the Sharks against the Isles, and they got off to a good start. And after that, it kind of crumbled around them. They did get on the board in the first period, so maybe I sprinkle on them to score in the first period. You'll get a pretty good price on that, reasonable. Desperation. You know what? Let's put that on the card here. San Jose to get a goal in the first period. I don't trust them to win the game, but if they're gonna show up, then they should. As a winless hockey team, you should be desperate to try to get that first win. Ryan Warsofsky's talking about giving up kids to get a win. When you hear your coach say that, you better damn well play hard to get that first win and get off the schneid. You're going to see it in the first period, if you're going to see it at all. Much like the Islander game when they got off to a pretty good start. And it's -114, the price. San Jose to get a goal in the first period. I will take that.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like the Sharks first period, but again, I'm not a Klingberg fan at all. But when you're so poor defensively, Liljegren and Klingberg were playing over 20 minutes a game. A lot of liking of the under here for this one. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board. And if you're listening on headphones, turn the volume down because we have the spreadsheet play of the day, and it's St. Louis Blues -120, and I like it a lot. Want to fade the Mammoth off sweeping their 4-game homestand, culminated a 4-3 overtime victory against the Avalanche on Tuesday, playing at an elite level at home. I want to fade that. Karel Vejmelka has been excellent. I don't want to fade him. 1.19 goals against average, 911 save percentage without they don't have accountable forwards. It's one thing when your defense is playing okay, but he's being left alone at times and stepping up. Jordan Binnington, 2-1-1, 2.59 goals against average, 894 save percentage. You may call that middling numbers, but better than last year. Utah power play ranked 27th in the league. That's something we didn't expect with Gunther and the snipers that they have. 27, 14.8%. Their penalty killing, middling, 21st. We kind of expected that, 75%. St. Louis power play, 18.8%. Penalty killing, 19th at 77.8%. I think these were kind of expected here. This is game 1 of a 4-game trip. The bigger story here is the Blues. They coming off the 2-1 overtime loss on Tuesday to the Kings. That was game 3 of this homestand. And the homestand ends tonight. It opened with an 8-3 loss. They had a good game against Dallas, but Dallas has been outscored 13-3 since they were up 2-0 against the Canucks.
Holy mackerel.
So this is just a must win game for the Blues. And that's kind of where I want them. Oh, sorry. I think Jose there. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. But Jose doing double duty. It's but I just we got it. We got to move quickly here. So I'm laser focused as much as I can be. Let's take a look at this line history here for this one. We have the Blues at -120. I mean, I guess, Ian, I'd want them to be more expensive than this, honestly. but I think we can explain it with the Mammoth just beating the Avalanche off 4 straight victories. I mean, the Mammoth are still a very appealing price for anybody who likes them. This total opened up at 6, heavily juiced to the under, and then came back down to 6. And now it's sort of a pseudo 5.5, heavily juiced to the over. So expecting a defensive hockey game here. Take it away for us, Ian. I'm all ears.
Yeah, it is Joel Hofer. And last time we saw him, he got shelled by Chicago. He was in net for that 8-3 loss to the Blackhawks. Let's not crucify the man for one bad game. Let's also remember that he played pretty well down the stretch last year for the Blues and looked a lot better in between the pipes for them. Vejmelka's confirmed, should be not confirmed yet, but projected to be in net here for Utah. Utah had a great look. Utah's 5-1 in their last 6 games. Swept the homestand against Calgary, San Jose, Boston, and Colorado, which was the best win of them all. But they're still only 1-2 in their 3 road games this year, the Utah Mammoth. And then you heard Jim Montgomery after the loss to LA in overtime 2-1, where really they only played one good period, and it was the third period. And there's a really great quote. We're going through the same thing as January, and we're going to have to get it changed. We're going to have to go to work all together. That's how you gain consistency, is through communication. It's by players holding players accountable, coaches holding players accountable, players holding coaches accountable. We're not getting the job done right now with our consistency, with our effort, and with our execution. We have to demand more of each other, was what Jim Montgomery said after the loss to LA. I'm a big fan of this Blues team. They have, 3-3 is a perfect record for them right now because they've had some good moments. They've had some bad moments, but I do like them in a bounce back spot here tonight against a Utah team taking the road after a great homestand. And yes, Utah's form's been good, but I think they get the Blues best. And we know the Blues best is good. They won 2 big road games out west against in Western Canada. They beat Dallas, probably their best game of the year, especially on home ice. Montgomery's comments, I think, leads to a better focused, dialed-in effort for the Blues here tonight. So I am on St. Louis here, -115.
I like it a lot. Look, Hofer made 27 saves on 29 shots against the Flames. The Flames are not a good team, but they have young snipers. They can score. I know we're not seeing it yet, but so they do have young snipers. We're not seeing it yet from the Flames. So obviously that's an easier situation than playing the Mammoth. I love this.
So before the season, if St. Louis was -115 at home against Utah, I'd be jumping on it. And I feel that it's a good price here.
It's a great price.
Blues team, I think, are going to play well tonight. Yeah.
We can explain it, though. Yeah. The Mammoth are playing excellent. They just beat the Avs. They swept their homestand. And then you have a goalie who just got shelled for 8 coming in. It's easily explainable, and I'm going to join you and Spreadsheet on the Blues. We move on 8 p.m. Eastern. Vancouver Canucks 4-3-0, 3-2-0 on the road at Nashville Predators 2-3-2, 1-1-1 at home at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. I've got Demko and Saros listed. Please let me know if that is correct. Demko 3-1-0, 2.28 goals against average, 922 save percentage, 0 shutouts. He's playing elite. We're just counting down the minutes till that fucking hip goes out. You see Saros 2-2-2, 2.78 goals against average, 906 save percentage, 0 shutouts. I don't trust him. The only reason why I cheer for him is because he's the smallest goaltender in the National Hockey League. That's it. I don't know why they gave him the extension. Vancouver power play 17.4%, ranked 23rd in National Hockey League. Penalty killing 75%, ranked 20th. Nashville power play 8.3%, 32nd in the National Hockey League. What the hell is going on with this power play? What are we, a year removed from Roman Josi winning the Norris Trophy? I understand he's getting up there in age, but isn't Marchessault and Stamkos, aren't these snipers? You guys know what I think of Luke Evangelista, the Toronto boy. I think he's a beast. Now he's on the first line. What the hell is wrong with this power play? You have Ryan O'Reilly winning the faceoff, being in front of the net. You have Philip Forsberg, Steven Stamkos, Roman Josi, Luke Evangelista. Shouldn't this be a top 10 power play? Will the numbers work themselves out, or are they just snake bit?
Yep.
We have 9th ranked penalty killing. I thought it'd be the opposite. I thought it'd be the 9th ranked power play and the 32nd ranked penalty kill. Canucks won the first 3 games of this 5-game road trip before falling 5-1 at Pittsburgh on Tuesday. And the road trip ends tonight. I mean, they have a lot of pressure at home. The Habs are waiting for them on Saturday night, which is going to be, hockey night in Canada, marquee game. The Predators coming up their 4th straight loss, 5-2 at home to the Ducks to begin this 5-game homestand. Now this is game 2 of 5-game homestand. You guys know exactly where I'm going. I want to fade the Vancouver Canucks off of a loss, which is not something I'd like. I don't want to fade any team off a 5-1 loss. This opened up 5.5 minus 115 to the over. Now it's 6 minus 120 to the under. Maybe call it a quarter of a goal move to the over, maybe less than that, I would say. And when we get to the money line, we have the Predators at minus 111. They open up at minus 113. There's been little to no movement. Bobano, take it away.
Yeah, I am hammering away against this Nashville team. I took Anaheim the other night against them. So they were okay early in that game, but bang, bang. Gauthier and Beckett Seneca make it 4-2 Anaheim, late second period. And then I was waiting to see, okay, is Nashville going to give me a push here in the third period, down by 2 goals at home against Anaheim when they're already on a losing streak? And then they proceeded to get outshot 7-2 in the third period at home. 2 shots on goal in the third period at home, down 4-2 to Anaheim when you've already lost a bunch of games in a row. This team stinks. It's starting to look like the dumpster fire it was last year. I am on Vancouver here tonight off a loss, trying to finish the road trip in a good note. I expect we'll see Demko. Underdog price. They won in Nashville the last time they were there. Yeah, Vancouver plus 102 for me.
Marchessault is out now. Of course, Filipino out. Surprise, surprise. Teddy Bluger may be out too. So these are 2 centers that really are the straws that stir the drink. Hoglander's been out for a while. Lekker-Mackie out as well.
Something inherently wrong with Nashville. How's that possible? How does that happen?
What's the first game back from a road trip too?
Yeah.
I mean, do you expect the team to be like completely locked in on their first game home off of a road trip? I mean, I fade those teams over and over and over again in that situation.
There's some truth to that. Maybe they'll be a little fresher, a little more dialed in, a little more energy in the Predators tonight. But I don't know. The more I watch, you know what I see? I see the same bullshit I saw last year. A slow team. They don't have the puck enough. They don't win enough puck battles. They don't score enough. Their power play can't set up properly half the time. There's a lot of issues, again, with the Predators. We'll see if they can clean it up, but I'm not convinced.
They were on the road. They left on October 12th. They came back. They flew back on October 19th. So I guess it wasn't that long, but it was 4 games. Look, I want to fade the Canucks. I think this is
the first time I've actually bet Vancouver this year. I haven't been overly optimistic and positive when it comes to Vancouver. This is more just anti-Nashville bet for me.
And I get it. But I'm going to fade the Canucks here. I think what we saw from them with Hedl in the lineup, with Bluger, I mean, it's you're not going to see it without Hedl. This team has no depth down the middle now. I'm going to be on that. What line did you get on the Canucks?
Plus 102. Yeah, plus 102.
Plus 102. I'm going to be on Nashville here with a lot of concern. But I just have to fade the Canucks here on the final game of a trip, even though they're coming off of a loss. I think Nashville will be better here. I don't know if they're a good hockey team. I'm not saying they are. Let's roll on. First off, though, we have Jaden Kim watching the show. Shout out to our guy, Jaden. Jaden, we love your dad, Chang. Love capping with him. Sharp guy. And thank you for watching the show, Jaden. Thank you. Thank you, man. Love the Kim family. Respect to all of you guys. Hope LA is treating you well. LA Toronto World Series, Jaden. Look, you guys are in business. You guys are a juggernaut. But we're excited to play you. How about that? We're excited to play you guys. Let's move on. 9 p.m. Eastern with the LA Kings 2-3-2, 2-1-1 on the road to the Dallas Stars 3-3-0, 1-2-0 at home with American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. I've got Kemper and Ottinger listed. I'm not sure if that is the case. Please let me know. Shout out to Corner Store in the house. I think that's probably Corner Store Baby, but I don't want to say Baby if it's not. I would think Corner Store Boy, maybe. Let me know so I can say the name right. Kemper Ottinger. Kings, 26.3% power play, ranked 7th in the league. Penalty killing, 26th, 70%. These are 2 horrible penalty killing units. Dallas power play, 29.4%, ranked 5th. Why are these 2 penalty killing units so bad? It doesn't make sense at this point. I know you're very low on the Kings, lower than I am, but Why are they so bad? The Kings snapped their 4-game losing streak with a 2-1 overtime victory at St. Louis on Tuesday, game 2 of a 5-game road trip. The Stars coming off their 3rd straight loss. We just talked about that. Since being up 2-0 after the first period against the Canucks last Thursday, they've been outscored 13-3. Let's get into this line history and hand it over to Bobano here. We have Dallas at minus 145. I mean, how cheap is that? When would we ever get Dallas at this price? Opened up at minus 162, now minus 145. God, this is just absolute. Now, we know that they're dealing with injuries, and I'll go over that injury report, or Bobano can, but let me just grab the total and hand it over to Ian as we're tight for time. We have this total at 5.5, minus 125 to the over. I mean, this has not moved since 12:45 p.m. Because this would have been a 5.5 at minus 110 in the old days, but this is not the old days. These guys can't keep the puck out of the net on the penalty kill. Take it away, Ian.
Yeah, you're right. They can't. I don't know. Dallas hasn't. I should be jumping at Dallas here. I want Dallas here. I lean Dallas here, but I don't know. I haven't loved what I've seen. That was a terrible loss against Columbus. They didn't play well at all. I watched that game. They were awful. Their lack of offense, their lack of any sort of energy, is what cost me, unfortunately, a full game over in that game because they only scored one. You would have told me Columbus scores 5 goals. I thought, geez, an easy winner. No, and it stays under by a half a goal there with the. Actually, I got a push on it over 6, but easily should have won that with any sort of offensive thrust from Dallas that we clearly didn't see. You're right; they're banged up. They've just looked lethargic here these last few games. I don't want any part of LA. I don't think they're very good. I think St. Louis kind of gift wrapped the game with bad penalty in overtime the other night. Kings took advantage of it. Credit to them. I don't like Dallas. I should be on Dallas here. Maybe I will be personally for a small bet, but I think as far as an official play, I'm going to leave it alone.
Kopitar out, Ben out, Duchesne out. It's not even, maybe, Ben and Duchesne are probably, a little bit worth more than a 38-year-old Kopitar right now. Isn't this a spot? I mean, if I'm taking Nashville on the second game of the homestand, isn't this a similar situation? Can't we explain why it's so cheap? I mean, they're getting destroyed right now. I feel like I've got to sit with this longer, but I mean, I guess I got to do this. We don't have enough time to sit with these spots. We got to talk Thursday night football with Bobano, another winner from him yesterday. You'll see his record on our show in NFL so far this year. His ROI is 97%. So we got to get there. But I just want to touch very, very, very quickly here on this Dallas Stars lineup. You got Sammy Steele, Rupi Hintz, and Mikko Rantanen. Right. Hintz has looked like he's physically affected by the injuries over the last little while. You have Wyatt Johnson, Jason Robertson, and Maverick Bourque, a line that we thought would be much better than it is. We have Seguin and Blackwell on the third line. This fourth line is not very strong. Nathan Bastian, Radek Faksa, Lindell, Heiskanen, Harley, Lyubushkin. Harley was supposed to, I thought we saw him take that step with the Canadian team. Is it just not that good of a roster?
No, I mean, right now you mean the Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Stars, to me, there's some issues right now, and I like what Wyatt Johnston's doing. I think the top line's been good at times, but you're right, they're not getting much from the third line. I think that's really hurt Dallas here at times throughout the early part of the season. You know what? I can get Dallas -1 actually at +110. I will put that on the card. I don't want to eat the juice with Dallas with the crazy money line price. We're trying to keep the juice down, so I will put Dallas -1 at +110 on the card.
I'm interested in joining you. I just need to sit with it. Let's roll on 9 p.m. Eastern with the Carolina Hurricanes. Say what, my man?
Not my favorite bet, though, just so everyone knows.
No, but I kind of like that you pulled the trigger, honestly, because I can explain it situationally. The question is now, are they what we see?
No.
But is the sample size too? I mean, Hurricanes, Avalanche 5-0-2, 2-0-1 at home at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. I've got Freddie Anderson and Scotty Wedgwood listed. Let me know if that's wrong. Anderson 3-1-0, 2.46 goals against average, .894 save percentage. He's a good goalie. We'd like to see him stay healthy. I mean, is he going to hold the Stanley Cup over his head? Is he that kind of a goaltender? I'm going to say no. Scott Wedgwood, 5-0-2, 1.84 goals against average, .927 save percentage. I hope this party continues for the Wedge Wall. This makes no sense, Bobano. We have the second and third worst power plays in the National Hockey League here playing tonight. Carolina, 9.5% power play, 31st. Colorado, 11.5% power play, 30th. And then we have very strong penalty killing, which is something we could expect. Shout out to Bonkoots in the house. 89.5% penalty kill for the Hurricanes, 83.3%, which is 11th for the Avalanche. Hurricanes coming up 4-1 loss at Vegas on Monday to snap their season-opening 5-game winning streak. This is game 5 of a 6-game road trip that ends Saturday at Dallas. The Avs coming up having their 3-game winning streak snapped in a 4-3 overtime loss at Utah on Tuesday. So, I think the Avalanche are the best team in the NHL. I don't want to ever fade Carolina. This total opened up heavily juiced to the over 5.5. Now it's juiced to the under 6. I wouldn't, maybe a tenth of a goal up. It's gone. I mean, not much. And then on the money line, we have the Avs at minus 133. They opened up minus 123. I think that's a great price. I want to be involved in it. Take it away.
I'm definitely on the over in this game. Over 5.5, minus 130. You mentioned the power plays struggling a bit and the penalty kills being good. I'm not convinced Carolina's penalty kill is going to be nearly as good now with this gauntlet and no Slavin. And we started to see that against Vegas, right? They started to give up some goals finally. Yeah, they survived without Jacob Slavin, their beast, their tower of power on the blue line against Anaheim, against San Jose. But now you're facing Vegas, they can put the puck in the net. You're facing Colorado, they can put the puck in the net. This is where I think the Carolina defense will feel the loss, feel the sting of not being with, I should say, Jacob Slavin anymore on the blue line at this point in time. Not to mention Gostisbehere didn't play last game.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be out. So there's a lot more Keandre Miller, a lot more Mike Riley, guys like that on the blue line. But I think Carolina can do some damage here against Colorado. Colorado's faced a lot of weaker lineups, weaker offenses at times this year. Wedgwood has been great, but Wedgwood finally lost against Utah and gave up 4 goals. And I'm wondering now, the more he starts, does people start to get a read on his tendencies and his style and net, and maybe a way to beat him? You just get more data, you get more video, you get more of an idea of Scott Wedgwood as a goaltender and how to beat him. So I think Carolina chips in offensively here. And it's been an over series history. 4 straight meetings between the teams have gone over the total. Each of the last 2 in Carolina overs. Each of the last 2 in Colorado also overs. So there you go. I love the old Hartford. It's Hartford versus Quebec for us old geezers that remember when these franchises were in different places a long, long time ago. So I love the hats there. Great logos, both of them, Nordiques and Whalers. Miss those teams. Miss them a lot.
Miss them.
So, yeah, over 5.5, minus 130.
I want to be on the Avalanche, and I will be on the Avalanche here tonight. I've just got to figure out exactly how to hammer it. Let's roll on. Montreal Canadiens, Edmonton Oilers, our final game in the NHL card. We have just a few minutes here with Bobano left, and we got to move very, very quickly. Habs.
Oh, we have Seattle, Winnipeg. We didn't do that one, I don't think, too.
Did I just blow past it at some point?
I think you did.
I did. Jesus, sorry. Jose, can we go back to Seattle, Winnipeg? I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to get Bobano out of here, and I need you guys got to see this NFL record. We have to talk NFL with Bobano.
We'll go quick. Yeah.
Seattle Kraken 3-2-2, 1-2-2 on the road at the Winnipeg Jets, 5-1-0, 2-1-0 at home. We have Canada Life Center, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Joey Decord, I've got listed against Hellebuck. Decord 3-1-1, 3.09 goals against average, 89 save percentage. Helly 4-1-0, 2.21 goals against average, 927 save percentage. The Kraken power play ranked 14th, 22.7%. Penalty killing 29th. And you're going up against the special teams champion of the NHL. Winnipeg has the 4th ranked power play at 30%. They're handling injuries. They're handling without their captain. They're just phenomenal. Penalty killing 96.3%. First in the league. God, remember how I had to defend Hellebuck last year in the playoffs? Everyone calling him trash. MVP, Vezina, multiple Vezina. Kraken coming up their 4th loss in 5 games, 4-1 at the Capitals on Tuesday. It was the 5th game of the 6-game road trip, and it was the second half of a back-to-back. So this is their 3rd game in 4 nights. Jets coming up their 5th straight win, 2-1 at Calgary on Monday. It was underwhelming. This is game 1 of a 3-game homestand, and the first of a back-to-back. They host Calgary tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm with everybody. I want to back Winnipeg, but they're really not making these wins look easy. Minus 216. I guess that's a fair price. It hasn't moved. Opened up minus 218, now minus 216. When I get to the total here on this one, we have 5.5, slightly juiced to the over. Bobano, take it away.
Yeah, I'll go Kraken team total under 2.5. Kraken team total under 2.5, minus 135. I've talked about this a lot on the Ice Guys show. If you like Winnipeg, don't take the money line price. Take the other team under their team total. Every Winnipeg victory this year, Jimmy, they've won 5 in a row after that first loss to Dallas. They've allowed 2 or less in every victory. They've allowed 2 goals or fewer to every opponent. So that's the way to go about it. It's the 7th game in 10 nights, 6th game in 10 nights for the Seattle Kraken. That's brutal. That's absolutely a condensed schedule. And now you got to face this Winnipeg team that can just grind you into the ice, and Hellebuck's off to a good start. So, yeah, Kraken team total under.
When are they going to start? I guess they're – because Morgan Barron's out too. Now you have 3 centermen out of the lineup, but Taves has come in and helped and being so – God, have that kind of a leader on the ice. 7 games in 10 nights. How do we not just – I mean, I love it. I love the Kraken team total 2.5, but I don't know how we don't just take the Jets on the -1 and call it a day. Okay, final spot on the board is that Habs-Oilers game that I had set up. I've got Sammy. Well, it's going to be Sammy Montembeault because he's could be losing this opportunity to be in between the pipes for the Habs as the number 1 goaltender. Dobish stepping up. Stuart Skinner on the other side, 2-2-1, 2.16 goals against average, 908 save percentage, 1 shot. He's looked pretty good to start the year, as the Oilers have not. Montreal power play 19th, 19.2%. We expect that to improve. Penalty killing 79.2%, 16th. That should be where it is around. Edmonton had a bit of a better penalty kill so far this year, 15th. And just like last year, their power play started slowly, unlike 2 years ago when it was the best power play we've ever seen before in the history of the sport. I think those Oilers of the mid-'80s would have something to say about that. We have this total at 6. It's -109 to the over, now -108 to the over. So we've had a 12-cent move towards the under. And then on the money line here for this one, we have the Oilers at -218, extremely expensive. And it hasn't moved. Opens up -218 and doesn't move. Habs on the second half back-to-back after defeating Flames 2-1 overtime last night. In Calgary, they won 6-7. This is game 2 of a 4-game trip. They play at Vancouver on Saturday night. The Oilers finished up a pretty disappointing 2-3-0 Eastern road trip with a 3-2 overtime victory at Ottawa on Tuesday. And this is a terrible spot for them. This is a one-off. They hit the road again. They have to leave again tomorrow. 2-game
ridiculous schedule making. Terrible.
It's a terrible spot for the Oilers. Yeah. So they can't get any comfort in the homestand. They can't relax for a second. They're off to Seattle and Vancouver after this. Take it away, Ian.
Montembeault and net. Dobish last night against Calgary. I was on Montreal last night. No, it's kind of tough for Montreal, but I'm going to take Montreal puck line here. I don't trust them to win the game, but I like the way they're playing. Edmonton's not playing great. They're coming off a road trip. +1.5, -120 is the price for Montreal puck line. I'll take that. I'm also going to take over 6 here, -105. I know both teams trending under, but I could see it getting a little sloppy defensively for Montreal after last night. I think Edmonton back home knows, hey, we got to get some offense going. All the talk from McDavid and Draisaitl is we haven't been clicking on offense yet. So I think that's actually going to be the focus tonight. And Montembeault has not been great this year. He's struggled. Dobish has been the better goalie. So this one I think could get a little track meatish, if you will, tonight. So Montreal +1.5, -120, over 6, -105.
I want Montreal to lose 6. No, I don't want you to lose your bet, but I want them to lose 6-1 so that we can back them against the Canucks in their first game back. I don't want them to play their hearts out and beat the Leafs. I've got to sit with this for longer because I hate the spot for Edmonton. I hate that they have to go back on the road, but I want to attack Montembeault and his concerns, and I don't want to attack the Habs by any means. This is a really good hockey team. Looking at this second line, Hopkins, Roslovic, and Mangiapane. No one thinks Roslovic is a top 6 forward. Savoy, Philip, and Frederick in the third line. Tomasek, Adam Henrique, Isaac Howard in the fourth line. We got to go. But I read an article that was saying this is the best forward group that McDavid and Draisaitl have ever had. I was like, what the hell are you? Who is writing this? This is the weakest forward group we've ever seen them around. I've got to think about this because I want to back the Oilers, but I don't think I can. I really don't think I can. I think your +1.5 is probably a great look. And the +1.5 is also on the dog spreadsheet for Ron. I'm going to go over all the NHL action in a second, but we don't have time to do it right now. We've got to quickly touch on CFL. Are you moving on Red Blacks, Tiger Cats, Stampeders, Elks, Alouettes, Bomber? Like we'll just quickly go through. Are you moving on Red Blacks, Tiger Cats?
Over. I think there's points. Hamilton's going to get most of them. I don't feel totally comfortable laying. Like, they should wax this team. This Ottawa team is, I shouldn't say they've totally packed it in. Tyree Adams hasn't packed it in. He played well last week against Montreal. They actually moved the football and put up points. And that's why I think Ottawa can do a little bit of damage offensively. Hamilton's going to score at will against Ottawa. Ottawa defense is just a sieve right now. Can't stop anybody. Can't stop anything. I don't think the weather's going to be that bad. So over 52, minus 110. In that game, let me just keep going quickly because we got.
Okay, sure. Sorry, I was just replying to chat.
Calgary Edmonton's going to be a
sorry.
pass.
What was it? Sorry, what was the number that you got?
Oh, over 52, minus 110.
Okay, keep rolling.
Calgary Edmonton's a pass. Edmonton got eliminated last week, but it is their final home game, and Calgary, laying 5 on the road in a rivalry like this, I don't feel comfortable with that, so I'm going to leave that game alone. Montreal Winnipeg, I can't touch until we know what happens with Hamilton, because that game may mean nothing for Montreal if Hamilton wraps up the division on Friday night against Ottawa, so can't touch that game. I'm going to take Saskatchewan, though, plus the points against BC. I know it's a nothing game for Saskatchewan, but it was a nothing game last week against Winnipeg, and they gave Winnipeg everything they could handle. Scared the crap out of me in that game because I had Winnipeg.
We both lost the double result, and I lost the -7. I got off to a bad. I got out of the gutter, but I got off to a bad start with that game. I was very angry.
I think they showed me a lot, Saskatchewan, that Corey Mace is not letting his team go through the motions here in these last couple games. That was a great effort in Winnipeg. They needed the game. Saskatchewan didn't, and they still showed up with a good effort. So plus 8.5, minus 115 for me here with Saskatchewan. Just the 2 bets for me officially. For
Fridays,
CFL.
plus 8, minus 115 for Bobano. Great stuff. All right, let's get into our Thursday nighter. I'm not going to set it up. Bobano, we're just going to let Bobano run. Take a look at what he's done here in NFL on the show. It's a thing of goddamn
This
beauty.
show and NFL Pub Hub combined, yeah, it's been pretty good.
It's a thing of goddamn beauty. This is the highest ROI we've ever had after 9 games. So, Ian, Vikings, Chargers, I'm not going to set it up. I'll do it after you leave your plan of attack here.
So, I don't fully trust the Chargers. But even with the offensive line issues last week against Indy, Herbert and the offense moved the football. They did. It really wasn't the pass rush got in on Herbert, but they made the most of it. They shifted the pocket, and he still moved the football. And if not for a couple of turnovers by Herbert, they probably could have scored more points against Indianapolis last week. And they might get Joe Alt, their all-important left tackle, back. He sounded all week like he's optimistic that he's going to return, and that would be huge for a group that's already been banged up with Becton and, of course, losing Slater earlier in the year. So I think Alt's going to try to play and give it a go, and that's significant against this Minnesota defense. Flores, who loves to blitz, of course, a ton. I think the Chargers and Minnesota defense has struggled lately. Rodgers and the Steelers move the ball on them. Hurts and the Eagles move the ball on them. So I think the Chargers can have offensive success, and having Alt back certainly will help. And don't forget, they got Quentin Johnston back last week, the Chargers, so their receiving core is a lot healthier now as well. But I don't know if they're stopping Minnesota totally, because that defense, whoa. They've given up 27-plus points now in 3 straight games. What's happened to Jim Harbaugh's defense here the last few weeks? I mean, Colts went up and down the field. Now, it is Wentz, but Wentz moved the ball against the Eagles until the turnovers. And the good news is, when you're looking at the total to the over like I am in this game, Wentz has picked 6 against the Eagles like he threw last week. That helps you out if you're an overbet. So Wentz can move the ball and try to score points for his own team. Don't be shocked if he gives up points or provides points for the opposition tonight as well, because anytime he's under pressure, that guy just chucks the ball around, and that's when he gets into trouble. So I think the total's light. I thought this should have been above the key number of 45. It's not. We're only asking for 24-21 out of this game, so it's over 44, minus 115 for me.
Over 44 at minus 115 for Bobano. Ian, great job. Thank you for sticking around a little bit extra. I will be going over all of your action here, and then Jose is going to come back, and we're going to go over this NFL game a little deeper with the use of your over 44 in this one. NBA OG show back in business. Ice Guys back in business, and the Hitting the Books YouTube channel smashing. Talk to us about what's going on for you, my man.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. NBA OG Crew Betting Show back weekdays, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern with me, Dutch Wham, and Ski. Ice Guys Show, which I'll be doing in a few minutes with Alex B. Smith. Connor Mack Hitting the Books. Monday's college football, college basketball show in a couple weeks will be starting up. We have members only shows as well for members of the channel. So appreciate all the support with all the content that I do and that Jimmy does. Good luck, Jimmy. Good luck, everyone in the chat. Let's have a big Thursday.
Let's get it. There he is, Ian Cameron. What a hell of a job there. Let's review the action that we just went over with Ian. Ian is on. So there's 3 spots where we're heads up. This is one of them. Ian's on the Blackhawks plus 1.5, plus 105. I'm on the Lightning puck line. I haven't moved on it yet. I haven't moved on any of these spots yet. It was tough preparing properly for this show, and all the records are up to date, and that's taking fucking hours. We have Bobano on the Ducks plus 105, team total over 3, and the over 6. I really like that team total over 3. I think with Mrazek in net, they're a very difficult team to back, the Ducks with Mrazek in net. But, I've got them over their point total and to make the playoffs. Bobano's on the Flyers plus 140. And uncomfortably, I'm going to be on Ottawa -1 here. And then I'm very interested in Florida -1. I need to spend a little bit more time on it. Billy Friedrich, Pig Milk play of the day is Detroit Islanders first period under 1.5 at plus 110. Ronnie Crawford spreadsheet play of the day is the Blues. Bobano's on the over 6 at -104 in Detroit, New York Islanders. And I'm expect to be on the Detroit Red Wings. I'm going to sit with it a little longer after the show. We have Ricky Levine. He's on Carolina moneyline, a Philly Pittsburgh parlay, and the Kings under. Bobano's on the Sharks to score a first period goal. We've seen what's happened since Klingberg and Liljegren have gone out. They're a fade. And I love Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith so much. The Blues, spreadsheet play today. Bobano on the Blues. And I, too, am going to be on the St. Louis Blues. Bobano on the Canucks, a plus 102. We'll see what happens with this team as we move forward, but similar to my fade of the Chargers for the last 4 weeks. Now, this was something I was waiting for. I was waiting for Hedl to get hurt. He's a broken hockey player. It's sad. He'll be retiring in probably the next year and a half. So the depth down the middle is so weak. Now you take Bluger out of there as well. They should have re-signed Pius Suter. I'm going to take the Abbotsford Heat over them right now. So I'm taking the Nashville Predators, but I'm not betting on Nashville because you guys have seen me all week. I wasn't betting on the Giants. I wasn't betting on the Commanders. I wasn't betting on the Dolphins. And this past week, I wasn't betting on the Colts. I was fading the Chargers, and I'm fading the Canucks. Bobano's on the Kraken, team total under 2.5. This is just such a tough spot for the Kraken. I expect to be on the Jets -1, even though they don't make anything look easy. And maybe Bobano's situation with the Kraken team total under 2.5 is the best way of doing it. I'll have to sit with that longer. Maybe that's just the perfect way of doing it. Now, if I was to do that, I'd still probably, but I don't want to double up on this game because the Jets aren't making anything look easy. So I'll have to decide which I think is the bet that provides the most value. Bobano on the Stars -1 at plus 110. I really want to join him here. I felt a little bit like I was kind of pushing him into it because it's what I want to bet. And are the Stars as bad as we think they are? I mean, it's hard to imagine that. Bobano's on the over 5.5 -130 in Carolina, Colorado. I'm going to be on the Colorado Avalanche. I want the Avalanche every possible chance I can get. And you take 2 defensemen off of any team, I want to fade them. Now, Ghost is more of a power play specialist, but he's even improved his 5-on-5 play a little bit. Slavin out of the lineup. Game 5, a 6-game road trip. Avs coming off of a loss. I like it. Bobano's on the Habs plus 1.5 in the over 6. I sure want to be on the Oilers, but I just despise this idea that they have to leave. It's probably going to get me off of it. That they have this 5-game. I can't bet a team in this situation. I'll have to go over the exact days and go over how they're feeling, go over the flights. But you have a 5-game Eastern road trip. You come back for 1 game. It's not fair. It's a terrible, terrible situation for them. And Billy Friedrich says Natchez and Burns playing against their former team. That is a very big point. I mean, especially Natchez, who is angry about it. That's a great point. I'm going to copy and paste that, Billy. That's a great point. Alec Dirks in the house. Jose Perez joining us. Nut Flush. Alan. Great to see all of you guys here. Let me just put this note here. Again, the notes that come in from our chat are just so helpful and such a big part of the success that we've been having over the last little while. And that's why Nate just over 2.5 shots on goal plus 110. That's a beautiful look. Beautiful look. Okay, so then in Canadian football, and we're going to be capping this with the Goracle tomorrow to close out the show, we have the over 52 in Red Blacks, Tiger Cats. Nothing for Stampeders, Elks. Alouettes, Blue Bombers, nothing. Rough Riders +8 for Bobano. And now we have the NFL. So let's cap this game. NFL action here. Please welcome the producer of our show, the backbone of the channel, coming to us from our home studio in San Antonio, Texas. Please welcome our friend SN1P5 to the show at our bar, the Southtown 101. Best bar in Texas. How are you, Jose?
Doing well. Excited to talk ball as always, and excited to talk about your bullishness on fading the Chargers. Bullishness is a term that I learned from you, by the way.
There has been some change because a lot of us thought Van Ginkel would play. He's not playing for Minnesota. So a lot of this is being affected. I thought this line would move further. BJ saying buying low on the Chargers, and it's also a bad scheduling spot for the Vikings. Oh, look, I get it. I get why everybody's been backing the Chargers. I'm not saying that you have, BJ, but why people have been backing them. I very, very much get it. And let's break it down here. Let's break it down. SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. These Chargers 2-2 at home. This is not home advantage. Let's go over the line history here in this. We have, there's going to be a lot of purple in that audience tonight. We have the Chargers right now -3 at -120. I would think, and it did happen, with Van Ginkel being announced out, that it would have gone back to 3.5, and it happened. It moved back to 3.5 at 8 this morning, and since then it's come back to a 3, which means others like myself jumped at the opportunity to get the Vikings at the +3.5. I think it's a great spot. From a total perspective here, we have this sitting at 44.5. It opened up at 42.5. Jose, why don't you touch on the cash flow and just from the market expectations, your feel for this one?
Sure. Here, I'm doing a quick refresh of my market shit just to make sure we're on the same page here. I've got 51% of the bets, 54% of the money on the Chargers here. Interestingly enough, it's -120 at BOL for that 3. Was at 3.5, has come back down here as well. It's kind of been going back and forth this morning, it seems, from 3.5 to 3. Other places like Heritage have 3 juice to the to the Chargers, I should say, as well. So that's a little interesting in that aspect. As for the total, 65% of the bets and 66% of the money on the under in this game, and it seems like it just keeps going up here, which if I was betting this game would be more interesting to me. 42.5 was the opener here on the 14th. On the 19th, they got up to 43.5. On the 20th, 44, 45. Came back down to 44.5, and it's been sitting around there currently as well. So it's, again, interesting. It's gone up and down, but there's 65% of the bets and 66% of the money on the under. So I would actually agree with Bobano on this one. I'd probably lean over.
God, my 365 is trash. I'm gonna have to use my phone here. I want to see if they've moved this over to a 3.5 as well. It was a beautiful 3.5 that it was timed perfectly by Spooner that he got on the -110. We're back to 3.5 here. 3.5 -115. It's the Van Ginkel news here. We have Troy Torrance also on the Chargers, BJ on the Chargers. Many great cappers backing these Chargers. for me, I sincerely feel that the rushing game from the Vikings will be able to get whatever they want. As soon as Deshaun Hand got hurt, the Chargers have been unable to stop any sort of run game whatsoever. Do I think that the Colts are this dominant football team? Are they a team that goes into LA and beats them by 14? Or are they a team that just squeaks past the Cardinals at home? Now, that was with Charvarius Ward and Kenny Moore out. Of course, Kenny Moore came back against the Chargers. Every single stat that you receive from the Chargers, except for the fact that they're the second worst red zone offense in the National Football League, and they're the third worst pass rush in the National Football League, despite Perriman and Khalil Mack coming back. Now, I expect them to improve, but remember, they're older football players, and recovery is the issue. Their first game back off an injury, and recovery is going to be an issue here. They're still, and I don't need to rehash all of this, but this is the number one ranked rush defense per Pro Football Focus, and they ran for 10 yards on 6 carries in the first half. Now Haskins is out too, so it's just Kamani Vidal and whoever they bring up off the practice roster. We're waiting to figure all of that out. This defense is a serious problem, and will Joe Alt and Trey Pipkins come back this week? Now, if Joe Alt comes back, how many snaps does he play? And the same with Pipkins, because you've already lost the backup tackle on Austin Deculus. Now, he could even come back, but will he be okay? BJ says Vikings are overrated. They're not that good. I agree. They have quarterback issues. I agree. He says, give me Herbert all day in a must-win spot. Short week. I think the books want Viking action, in my opinion.
I didn't know that was BJ.
Yeah, that's BJ. So, look, here at this point, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed for me. The market can't fix itself because statistically the Chargers are so good. I mean, imagine going up. What should the line be? The Vikings passing offense is the third worst in the National Football League. Their rushing offense is ranked 23rd. Their red zone offense is ranked 20th, and their third down offense is ranked 26th. It's terrible. We saw the Commanders in the same position. Now, the Chargers are somewhat healthier than they were against the Commanders, but the Commanders put up 27 unanswered points with their weak-ass offense. The only thing we can trust for the Vikings in this spot is Flores. Now, it sucks that Van Ginkel isn't back. Darisaw came back last week and didn't show very much because it's tough coming back from an injury. What can we trust here is that Flores' defense is ranked 4th in the red zone, and the Chargers' red zone offense is the second worst in the NFL. So you guys are expecting all this magic from Herbert with this great receiving core, but he doesn't have the time to make any decisions. Has any quarterback had more tipped passes intercepted? It's not that Herbert is throwing poorly. It's that all the passes get tipped at the line of scrimmage because he's under pressure at an alarming rate. The red zone defense is 4th for the Vikings. The third down defense is 2nd. It is the second best red zone defense here in the NFL. And I trust Flores to take advantage of this very, very weak offensive line. And are we going to see Khalil Mack and Perryman do anything different? I love hearing that here. Okay. No, BJ, I hear you. Look, there's different ways of hammering this. And there have been sharps on the Chargers throughout. And it's okay that we're on the different side. You have every right. Anybody backing the Chargers has every right to back the Chargers. And you could very well cash tonight. But I never in my entire career, in my entire life, have bet against a football team for 5 straight weeks. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it because I believe the market doesn't understand. I receive these essays from my father who watches the game live and then watches every single play and slows it down a second time. Are other people doing this with the Chargers? Or are they just have their own vividness bias on Harbaugh and Herbert and this wide receiving core. Again, I'm just telling you guys my side of things. And Troy Torrance says, short work, Chargers stay in the same stadium, Vikings go on the road for the first time in 8 weeks. Look, that is a questionable line, Troy, because they went to the UK. It's not like they've been sitting there doing squad ass zilch. So, look, you guys have every right to have confidence in your bet here. Every right. And it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Even if the Chargers blow the Vikings out and this run I've had is over. But I don't think it's over because I've watched bad teams take the Chargers to the fucking last second of the game. You know how bad the Miami Dolphins are? And they came seconds away from beating the Chargers. The market can't fix itself because the statistics aren't leading the models there. And this is not me betting the Vikings. This is me fading the Chargers once again. And it's not as bullish as I was in those two spots, the Commanders game and the Dolphins game. But I'm going to be on the Vikings again. And look, we're supposed to trust our cap. You guys are supposed to trust your angles. And I love that you do. And I love that you guys are. And we go head to head and it doesn't matter. We break bread and move on and cap again. So I'm on the other side. I'm on the Minnesota Vikings tonight. Jose Bouquet, your plan of attack.
I think I'll just sit back and watch. I'll be on the live stream with you guys tonight, obviously. Tune in. What's the start time again, Jimmy? I always
7:20.
7:20. Yeah, beautiful. So that will be started here. I'll be there early because I think I'm going to just let it sit for a drive or two and then move in on a live over. Would be my ideal plan of attack here. But I agree with you. I'm leaning Minnesota Vikings. Here's two interesting stats here that'll get you hopefully feeling nice here, Jimmy. Sack percentage leaders in the NFL, just percentage of times the guy gets sacked when passing. Minnesota Viking is sixth best. There's third best, 9th% in there. So very interesting there. That hopefully they'll get them. Their QB hits are lower than you would think, but they are sacking the quarterback, and I think that they'll get some sacks here today. So it'll be very interesting to see how it goes.
And Justin, the whole thing is every time, like this is we have to study what the hell happened in the football game. So does Joe Alt and Pipkin come back? Pipkin, I mean, that all has to. I have to study it. What does the offensive line do? How often was Herbert pressured? Was Herbert able? Because we know when Herbert throws an interception, it will be off of a tipped pass at the line of scrimmage. It won't be because Herbert screwed up. It'll be a tipped pass at line of scrimmage, and it will be when Joe Alt is not on the field. Now, if we go over the tape and Joe Alt plays 98% of the snaps, because we know, of course, they're already without Slater, then it changes everything. It changes the whole cap. This is all predicated on what we're seeing on the field, not with their statistical profile this year, but their game-to-game statistical profile. So it'll just have to be studied again. So there we go. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to see you guys tonight. We do it up here on Pub Sports Radio at 7:20 p.m. Jose, it is time to get into college football, and we have the triumphant return of our next guest. Is this something that you want to be a part of here? Because I know you are focusing on your college football edges.
I haven't looked at the college football, if I'm being honest. So you guys can press on without me here. But tomorrow, well, I guess today I'll be sending you all my college football looks, whatever, and then we can hash them all out tomorrow, hopefully. Well, is today Thursday? Yeah, today's Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah, so tomorrow tonight I'll send you all those. So we'll figure all that out tonight. By the way, I will just quickly mention, I guess I would like to come on for the basketball for the Nuggets Warriors game, because that line, fishy line there. But we'll get to it. You guys probably have more X's and O's and injury reports than I do. But yeah, it should be fun.
Sounds good, my man. Let's bring on your next guest. We have missed him here on betting with the bag, dealing with some health issues, finding his way through it. And I know what he's dealing with. I had to deal with it when I was down in Costa Rica, and it's a battle. But he's wanted to be here constantly, and now he is. I'm almost done with his records, too. I'm almost done with it, and I'll have Gorky's college football record done tonight, and then everything will be done. It feels like I haven't paid my taxes in 5 years. All records will be done complete. They're all done except for Adabra and Gorky's college football records. Everything else is up to date and done. So I'm excited to be have that concluded. Please welcome the star of Medicate Mondays, the star of the Tailgate, our guy coming to us from Dallas, Texas, Daby Cab in the house. Daby, what's good, man? How are you?
Man, you said it. Just feeling even like 75% feels like a win right now. Glad to be back up here with you guys. My lungs are starting to work a little bit more. It's scary shit, man. I can deal with headaches and stomach, and that don't bother me. But my lungs, I don't like not feeling those normal.
Oh, man. Yeah, fuck. It lasted for over 6 months.
Yeah, when you told me that, I honestly got I was like, okay, dude, I can't do this for 6 months, Jimmy. Don't tell me that.
Oh, fuck. It was a bad time. It was a really bad time, and I had to rush back to work because of shit going on. And I had the puke bucket under my desk, and I puked 10 to 12 times a day. And I felt so bad for everybody working there. Fuck, man. Just hearing me nonstop puke, I felt awful.
I've been like, man, put me as far away from the puke guy as possible.
I felt fucking terrible.
Like, I could smell that shit throughout the day.
Oh, God, I felt awful. I felt so bad. Just the water in the lungs, man. Let's get to work, Daby Cab. We got action. Thursday night stand-alone game. My record is pitiful. For those of you that rock with me know that I was down 0.37 units when Saturday's college football kicked off. Now, did I get a lot of it back in CFL and then NBA today? Yes, but it doesn't matter. I got fucking crushed, and I'm angry about it, and it kept me off betting last night. And I want to get back to business here at Daby. And going through your records is pretty strong. What I've got, you opened up 1-5, if you remember, but then you got
horrible first week.
But then you got hot. So I'll have all of that up here shortly. Let's get, and it's also tricky, right? Because it's just the games that he talks about on Tuesday, and he hasn't been doing many shows with me, so it's not all of his action. It doesn't give you the full story of what a capper is doing. But let's get to work, Daby Cab. We have college football on a Thursday night. We're getting into NBA right after this. Let's get into the situation. South Alabama Jaguars, Georgia State Panthers. Who would have thought these teams would be quite this terrible? And the answer is none of us thought they'd be this bad. But Georgia State can be a team that we trust at times, and they can be a team that we trust at home. But let's break this down with Daby Cab. We got AOD in the house. AM says this total was 56 this morning, and Justin Mcelvey is on the Georgia State Panthers plus 6.5 at -107. Let me get that here locked and loaded here in my notes. By the way, Justin's also moving on to Thursday night football game. I'll discuss it, again when we close up shop. But he has moved on McConkey over 55.5 receiving yards at -114. We're at Central Park Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. So both teams on massive losing streaks. And South Alabama has had really tight games. Nobody expected them to be this bad this year. They lose 31-24 in overtime at Troy. They lose to North Texas at North Texas by 14. I mean, there's really no shame in that. They were 2.5-point favorites when they lose to Troy in overtime. That one is still affecting them. Davenport only threw for a little over 100 yards in that one. Davenport has only thrown over 200 yards once all season long. They thought they were going to get more offense from him. And if he is not forcing defenses to, play nickels and to have people in the secondary, then South Alabama can't run the ball. South Alabama was just 8.5-point favorites at home, and they lose 15-14 to Arkansas State. To make matters worse, they get outscored 12-0. They went into in the fourth quarter. They went into that fourth quarter up 14-3, and they lose the football game. Is this team just broken psychologically right now? to come on the road. They're a big favorite again to Georgia State. Let's talk about what we've seen from the Panthers here. Coming off that 41-24 loss at Georgia Southern. It was a rivalry game. And here's another situation where this Panthers team just buckled in the fourth quarter. They get outscored in the fourth quarter 21-0. This team was up 24-20 going into the fourth quarter, and then Georgia Southern just takes over. So these are both teams that are reeling, both teams that are angry. It's tricky. Let's take a look at the line history here. And then let's also talk about something that we've been able to take advantage of in Sun Belt or Conference USA. It's that people are judging teams on their current play. And a lot of the times, we'll see a team like Jacksonville State that they're judging the team on 3 straight road games. They come back home and they're good at home. Georgia State can play well at home, but we didn't see it against App State. They lost 41-20. We did see it against James Madison. Their defense stepped up. They played well. They were 18.5-point dogs, and they were up 7. They shut out James Madison through the half. It is a strange score for the Panthers, who've been being a part of such high-scoring games, to be a part of a very low-scoring one there. So we have two teams in very different situations. We've watched South Alabama play well on the road, and we've watched Georgia Southern play well at home until really that horrific loss to App State. App State was up 17-0 at the half. App State was only 2.5-point favorites, and they trashed the Panthers. So let's get into the line history and the cash flow, and then hand it over to Daby Cab. I'll be looking to see what everybody is on in the chat. So line history-wise here, it's just coming up. We have the Jaguars road favorites. Come on, show up here to the tune of -6.5. So we've not moved. The spread has not moved. Opened up at -6.5, and that was on Saturday. It took 4 hours for it to move to 6. This was a flat 6 for about 36 hours before it came back to 6.5. So we've had no movement on a spread here. No movement. From a total, we have a 55 that I'm looking at. There's a lot of 54.5s. This is juice to the under. Opened up at 55, got up to 56, now at 55.5 and 55. You have to think that when the Panthers are playing their best football, they are a more defensive team. A shout out to Old E gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. The great Old E in the house. Thank you, Old E, my man. 61% of the tickets and 68% of cash are on South Alabama. 62% of tickets are on the under, and 92% of cash is on the under. That's a crazy, crazy amount of money on the under. I'll double check and reference a couple other sites to see what they're saying. But the time is Daby Cabs. Take it away. Jaguars, Panthers, Center Park Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia.
If South Alabama was struggling the way they're struggling and Georgia State still ran that triple option like they did last year, I would jump on that under right with that 92%, but they don't. Okay. This is not the same Georgia State team as last year. If you have not watched them this year, their offense is going to be completely different. I don't want to use pro style offense. It's not an option offense anymore. It's not the same type of offense. When you texted me this game, I really wanted to try and find something today, Jimmy. But what this game did is it kind of sent me on a little bit of a nostalgic trip. I'm going to tell you guys where my mind went, right? So, back in the day, if you played on a team or something, and let's say there was this really attractive girl that she was into you and she wanted to get with you, but 5 of your teammates had already, taken her down. So you knew she had, hepatitis A, B, C, all the way to Z, the kind that, jumps off the skin to you. So there was a saying that me and my guys would say. It would be like, hey, I wouldn't fuck her with your dick and me pushing, Jimmy. This game is kind of like that. I don't know if I would bet this with your money and me pushing the button. Honestly, if I did, I'd take Georgia State, because what the hell have either of these teams done to earn a 6.5 spread? South Alabama is one of the most penalized offensive lines in all of college football. They're going to be down a key piece on that offensive line. They're already injured. That's why you said they're having trouble running the football. They can't run the football. It's not that they're having trouble. They can't do it. They flat out can't do it. If Alabama's not able to run the football here, I don't see there being any margin of victory here. I think this game should be back and forth, especially for Georgia State at home. The thing that gives me the most pause is, one, I haven't really been betting these two teams. And two, the books are really, hanging their nuts, giving you that 6.5 with South Alabama. I feel like, maybe it's because I wouldn't say South Alabama ever reached that that darling level that Coastal Carolina reached back in the day where we were all betting Grayson McCall and Coastal Carolina, but they kind of did. They got close to that. I mean, South Alabama was a team, you could trust the over and you could trust them to go put up a bunch of points. That's not this team, okay? That is not this South Alabama team. I like Georgia State here, and I might, by the end of the night, I might get there. I might take the 6.5.
Yeah. It's appealing, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. It's the only way I could go.
This main site comes from Odds Logic, has 61% of tickets, 68% cash on South Alabama. Here, though, over at Action, which we trust much less, has 47% of the tickets and 83% of the cash on Georgia State. So at that point, you'd want it to move to 6. So then we can go over to Circa. Circa has 92% of the tickets and 83% of the cash on South Alabama.
See, that's...
And Circa has not moved. So they did move it back to 6.5. But this is the exact same opening line.
It's like they're begging us, isn't it?
Yeah. DC Capper on Georgia State plus 6.5. I think that we can take advantage here of, I think we can focus more on that James Madison game. I mean, James Madison here is 4-0 in conference, 6-1 overall, and Georgia State really shut them down. Now, there's no reason to understand why that was. James Madison had just smashed Georgia Southern at home. There's just no... I don't see a game where South Alabama stepped up.
At all.
Yeah. But we've seen Georgia State do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that if South Alabama is broken, why would that change going to Center Park Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia?
Like I said, they've done nothing to earn a 6.5 spread. They've done nothing to earn being a favorite of almost a touchdown on the road.
Yeah, I think that the trigger should be pulled.
I might
think, we got Justin on it. But is anybody here on South Alabama in the chat? I'd love to hear the other side of all of this. Jose Perez is on South Alabama. Mm-hmm. Because what would be the other angle? Well, South Alabama, there was a lot of expectations for South Alabama this year, and they just didn't seem. Brendan Gregory says South Alabama free, so we do have some people liking South Alabama here. They were expected to be a much better team. I mean, looking at that Arkansas State game, the only concern I have is that maybe it's better to bet live. It seems like South Alabama breaks down, at some point during the game. They shouldn't have lost the way they lost. They were completely dominated in the fourth quarter by Arkansas State Red Wolves. Now, Arkansas State is 2-1 in conference, 3-4 overall. Arkansas State is better. Now, the reason why the line was bigger was because South Alabama was at home. Look at these drives on South Alabama in that fourth quarter. 14 plays, 56 yards, 5 minutes and 45 seconds. And then with the game on the line here at the very end, they had a 10-play drive against South Alabama that only took 1 minute and 50 seconds because that's all they had left on. There was only 1 minute and 53 on the clock, and they still got 10 plays against this South Alabama Jaguars team. Mr. Sparkle says under would be my call. Mr. Sparkle, I'm sure you've listened to the song, but you should have Camp Low sparkle it playing a lot in your house. Billy Friedrich on the first half under 27.5. Lucky Lefty on Georgia State money line first half. T-Max says 6.5 seems way too good. I think this is a fair line.
You do? Yeah, Georgia State's been getting blown out. South Alabama's at least been playing a little bit closer games, like you've been saying.
Okay. Well, I'm very interested in...
What's your feel on the total here?
Well, that it's just too obvious and under. And
I kind of like the over, if I'm being honest.
Well, that's where it would take me because it's such an obvious under to me. But again, it's who do you expect to dictate the game? if you expect Georgia State at home to dictate the pace, and then you can put a line through that James Madison game. If you put a line through that James Madison game, then yeah, this would be an over. But we've seen both these teams play low-scoring, tough football games. Obviously, the people hammering the under are thinking about that 14-7 game James Madison and the 15-14 game Arkansas State. I don't feel like the total is one that I'd want to attack here, personally. So it makes me nervous because I could give you a complete breakdown why it could go over and a complete breakdown why it can go under. And we see all of this cash on the under, and it's moved a half point or a point.
Right.
So I I think that I'm going to sit with Georgia State plus 6.5 here. I just don't understand why at this point. See, this is what I think about it from a psychological standpoint. At this point, South Alabama has let go.
Yeah.
They can't do anything. There's no bowl games. There's no nothing. So what would be the thing? And you'd say, well, Georgia State in the same situation. Yes, but they're at home. They care about, and they're going to have their friends and family out there, and they're going to fight for it.
And their expectations weren't the same.
Brendan Gary says Georgia State pass defense ranked 114th in the country, allowing 238 yards passing, 132nd in rush defense, 136 in points against, with 41 a game. Yes, Brendan, but they have shown that they can defend. That's the problem. That obviously that James Madison game is messing with me. So I'm going to take a real close look at Georgia State when the show's over, and I kind of want the market to marinate a little bit longer. Don't you feel like if we let it marinate a little bit longer, if this goes down to 6 or 5.5, we know what's up. If this goes to 7, we know what's up.
Yep.
Wine time staying off for now. I expect to join DC Capper and Justin McKelvey. Let's move on to Saturday best bets here with Daby Cab. So we have this set up with the first two games that we capped yesterday with Nick Frazier and Wine Time Sports. So we get another look, and we know Daby Cab caps these games differently, and I'm excited to hear the other look. So the first two games are games that we capped yesterday. The last two games are brand new spots that Daby. Oh, I just lost the light here. I hope I didn't go too dark here. Okay, let's roll. We start with the Ole Miss Rebels, 6-1, 3-1 in the SEC at the number 13 ranked Oklahoma Sooners, 6-1, 2-1 in the SEC. We're Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma. Yesterday, I'll double check the weather, give it 24 hours, 58 Fahrenheit, rain showers, 9 mile per hour winds was yesterday, but I'd like to get an update on that as well. Yesterday, we had Nick Frazier on the under 54.5 at minus 108. And he is on Ole Miss plus 5.5. I feel like if you expect Oklahoma to cover this, that it would be them dictating the pace and it would be a lower scoring game. If you expect Ole Miss to take care of business and cover, or maybe even win, that would be a higher scoring game. But I'm also putting too much into that game at Georgia when they clearly could not stop Georgia when push came to shove. And we know that Oklahoma's offense is not Georgia's. So we have Oklahoma coming off a 26-7 win on the road at South Carolina, bouncing back from their loss at home to Texas. They're still angry about that loss at home against Texas. We watched them beat Auburn at home by 7, and Ole Miss coming off their first loss of the season, and a lot of anger there. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. And we have, at this point, Ole Miss. Let's see if anything's changed. This total has gone down and way down. Look at that. Nick Frazier. Wow, he timed that beautifully. It was very interesting when Nick did it. Nick, the star of the Water Cooler Talk Sports show on YouTube, and he has a live stream for all Auburn games. Because Daby, when he moved on it, this had gone from 51.5 to 54.5. And I was like, man, that takes balls when you see this. Since he's moved on it, this is 53.5 juice to the under here, but I see 52.5s.
Coming back down.
Yeah, wow. He timed that beautifully. On the spread here, Nick moved on that 5.5. And we have our first 6 on the board. The 5.5 is juiced to minus 116 right now. So that one is slightly moving against them, but that's a big move for him on the total. When we get to the cash flow here for Ole Miss, we have, here we go. Let me get this up here. Sorry, taking a second. Oh, man. Give me 1 second. Ole Miss, Oklahoma. So many games. I should have had this set up. I'll have it. Here we go. 66% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Wow. Doesn't it just feel like that Ole Miss off a loss should be back? Now, I brought up that second site at the Action Network. So let's see what they have here. They have the completely different story. 60% of the tickets, 99% of the cash on Ole Miss.
What?
Now, I trust the other spot here, the odds logic spot more. Brendan Gregory says Ole Miss a way better team. Ole Miss money line. DC Capper on Ole Miss plus 5.5, but Robert Franklin on Oklahoma minus 5.5. AM is on the under 54.5. Here we go. Daby Cab. I'm going to do a second look on the weather as well, but take it away. Rebels, Sooners, in Norman, Oklahoma.
So I'm going to probably piss some people off here, but I'm just going to come out and say it off the top. Oklahoma's overrated. One of the most overrated teams in all of college football, in my opinion. They have a very good defense. Don't get me wrong. Oklahoma's defense is outstanding, but Mateer and this offense is not a well-oiled machine. It's not running smooth. I mean, let's just look, guys. Like, okay, and I guess we can do the same for Ole Miss as well, but no, you can't, because they beat LSU. They played Georgia very close. I still think Arkansas is a great win, no matter how bad their record is, because their offense is outstanding. If you look at Oklahoma, they hadn't played anybody. They got a win against Auburn, which is kind of a decent win, but anybody who watched that football game knows damn well that Auburn got cheated. Okay. And I'm not an Auburn fan. I could care less about Auburn. Auburn won that game against Oklahoma, and it takes a lot for me to say that they just got it ripped out like that. And then you turn around against Texas and just lay an absolute fucking egg. Put up 6 points against Texas. And Texas is not a good football team this year. Okay, we're coming back home. We're the 13th ranked team. We still got stuff to play for. I get it. But they're not a 5.5 point favorite against Ole Miss. There's no way that this number is right. I took a +6 on Ole Miss 2 days ago, or maybe it was – yeah, I think it was 2 days ago. I got a +6 on Ole Miss 2 days ago, and it was hard for me to bet it because I had Ole Miss last week, guys. I had Ole Miss +9.5, or excuse me, +7. What did I have? I had 7.5. I had +7.5 last week. They were up by 9 points in the fourth quarter and didn't fucking cover the spread for me. Okay, so you want to talk about a shit list or a quick list? Like, Ole Miss hit that. I do not like Ole Miss right now. They pissed me off last week, and I still am here standing behind them saying they're a better football team than Oklahoma, okay? You put this line at like maybe 3.5 or 2.5 for Oklahoma, I think we're talking about a real line here. Oklahoma -2.5. 5.5, 6, it's just disrespectful. And I'm going to be honest, I think Ole Miss has a chance to win this football game. And when I'm betting a dog, that's what I want to look at. So if I think Ole Miss has a chance to win and you're going to give me 6 points, I'm going to take it every time. Because even though Oklahoma's defense is going to play good football, Lacey and this Ole Miss offense is going to find a way to put up at least 24 to 28 points. And I don't know if Oklahoma can do that. I just don't. I damn sure don't think Oklahoma can put up 35 or 40 to cover a 6 point spread.
Kong says this is one of those spots, the lower ranked team favored over the higher ranked team, hitting at an insane clip this season. That's the only reason I didn't bet Ole Miss. I want them, but he says he can't bet them.
Sooners are real deal. What, Seth Tony? Much respect for you, but not that comment. Real deal. What in the hell have they done this year that tells you they're the real deal? Say one thing that they've done good.
I love it. Brendan Gregory says Sooners offense is the same as last year, minus Mateer. Says, totally agree, Cab. I love the spread, but that value money line I can't turn down. He says Sooners have nothing. Mr. Sparkle says Auburn is the best offense Oklahoma's seen. Ole Miss is different. Oldie has Ole Miss first half team total at 10.5. That's a nice looking spot right there. All right. We have Daby Cab and on the corner of Daby Cab and Nick Frazier Boulevard on Ole Miss. What was the juice you got on Ole Miss +6?
Let me pull that up. I think it was actually -112.
Okay, grab it, and we will set up our next game on the board. Let's roll. 12 p.m. Eastern. We head to David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium in Lawrence. 55 Fahrenheit, light rain, 7 miles per hour. Kansas State Wildcats 3-4, 2-2 in the Big 12 at the Kansas Jayhawks 4-3, 2-2 in the Big 12. We broke this game down yesterday, and Wine Time Sports gave us the Kansas Jayhawks -2.5 at -110. What have we seen from Kansas State is that they've played pretty well since that Army game. They coming off beating TCU at home 41-28. Both teams are coming off the bye week, so it comes down to really what coaching staff do you respect more? This late in the season, bye week, both teams on the same playing field. We watched Kansas State play pretty well at Baylor and pretty well at Arizona. They lost both those games, but they were certainly in it. We have not quite the same situation, but a similar situation as we just dealt with in the Ole Miss game, because we have Kansas coming off a very bad-looking game, 42-17 at Texas Tech. Now, this was a couple weeks ago. Winetime and I were both on Kansas, plus 14 or 14.5. I can't remember what we got. And it looked very good when we were at halftime. 21-17 Texas Tech. We felt like we had a chance here. It was 18-0 Texas Tech after the first quarter. Then Kansas erupted. That eruption came to a screeching halt. It did close at 13.5, and they were outgained 505 to 319. But Texas Tech is a very good football team. Kansas State is not a very good football team. AM says rivalry game, take the dog money line every game, but he has no play on this. DC Capper is on Kansas -3 here.
But to say DC Capper and AM, whoever's right on this one has to change the color to red so y'all's thing doesn't look the exact same in the chat.
Let's get into the line history here and hand it over to the Magic Man, Dabra. We have Kansas State. Let's see what's happened with this line. We have a flat 3 now, a flat 3. So this opened up. Well, we also got a look ahead. We got the look ahead in all the rivalry games before the year started. And have you heard us talk about what the look ahead was in August for this game?
No, what was it?
Do you have a guess?
Kansas State -3.5.
Wow, you're good at this.
Did I get it right for real?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Let's fucking go.
So this line, that was beautiful. That was excellent.
The most important, I've told you guys this, the most important part of my cap, Jimmy, is before the new lines come out on Sunday, I write down what I think they should be, and then I attack it from there.
So this look ahead was -3.5. Of course, it went away as soon as action came on in week 0. But it returned on Saturday afternoon at 3, +3 for Kansas State. So a 6.5 point difference from what they expected it to be. But obviously, Kansas State was worse, and after the Army game, things changed with their optics. +3 goes down to 2.5, gets back to 3. But this was a 2.5 when Wine Time attacked it on Kansas. Now Kansas is -120 with a ton of vig on the 3. Very, very interesting. So this line moving towards the Jayhawks. Let's take a look at the total here for our 12 p.m. spot. Kansas State, Kansas. We have a 56. This one opened up at 55. This was 57 when we did our show yesterday. It moved down a point back to 56. We still have a 1 point move towards the over. Chef Tony says Kansas rolls alt line -6.5. The Godfather says Kansas State's currently on a 16-game winning streak versus Kansas, 2009 through 2024. Wine Time says,
holy shit, how did I miss that?
Wine Time says Jalen Daniels is pissed off. Well, let's see what he can do about it. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. We'll use both sites, I guess. I don't like really using the second one, but here we have 88% of the tickets and 89% of cash on the over. It's dropped a point. I never bet overs in rivalry games, but maybe I should here. But I'll listen to the breakdown. 75% of the tickets on Kansas State, 68% of the cash on Kansas State. This line is moving to Kansas. Then let's take a look at site number 2 for, and I think I should ditch this generally, but it tells us a bit of a different story, but it's still public. I consider it public when it's 60% or more. We have 56% of tickets, 57% of cash on Kansas State. We know that this line is moving against them. And here, a different story. 75% of the tickets, 62% cash on the under. Mr. Sparklehead says Kansas State covers possibly wins. Kansas State covers, possibly wins, but no bet for me. Take it away for us here. Daby Cab, Wildcats, Jayhawks, and Lawrence.
Okay, not to try and simplify things because I know it doesn't work this easy, but the best two units on the field, okay, it's going to be Kansas State's defense and it's going to be Kansas's offense, right? And I give the edge to Kansas's offense in that matchup every single time. Kansas doesn't play a lick of defense, all right? Let's be honest. We've seen it all year, whether we're talking about the Cincinnati game or, Texas Tech. But I want to say this, 17-42, as bad of a loss as it was, that was a much closer football game than the score indicates, okay? So it wasn't as bad as it looks. There was a couple points in that game where if Kansas would have just, scored, they would have had a chance to win, not only just cover, but win. So I'll come out and say it. I'm on Kansas. I got the -2.5. I posted it, so I know some of these lines have moved, but I post everything on my X account, so you could have got it with me then. I'm on the 2.5 here, and I think the edge for Jalen Daniels that Wine Time's talking about is huge. Jalen Daniels is one of those guys where he could have gone somewhere else, Jimmy. He could have gone and played at a big SEC school or a big Big Ten school. He could have gone, and got out of, we'll call it nowadays the smaller Big 12 conference, right? He could have moved, and he chose not to. He chose to stay at Kansas. I know they had bigger aspirations than being 4-3 right now in the season. And if we're being honest, they could very easily be 5-2. And if you look at a team like Arizona State right now, 5-2 in the Big 12 plays, right? It might not in other places, but 5-2 in the Big 12 plays. I think Kansas is just an all-around better football team. And we look at what's happened with Kansas State when they've played lesser defenses, like let's say Baylor. Baylor's defense is terrible. They still lost that game, albeit only by 1 point. But I don't think Kansas State has the ability with Avery Johnson to dictate the pace of the game like everyone thought. Everyone thought that Kansas State's offensive line was going to kick ass. They were going to run the ball. And then, the play action would open up with Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson's been good this year. 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a 62.8% completion rate. But anytime you've heard me talk about this guy, you'll hear me say this. I think he's soft, Jimmy. I think you hit the kid in the mouth one time, and I think his head goes out of the game. I don't think he's a tough kid, and I don't think this Kansas State offensive line is as tough as everybody thought they were going to be. So if you're asking me who's going to step up, Kansas's defense or Kansas State's offense, I say Kansas's defense steps up, and I know that their offense is going to be the best unit on the entire field. I got Kansas here, and I'm confident in it. And I love the fact they haven't won in 18 games or 19 games, whatever that was, that stat that was put in there. Because I tell you right now, Jalen Daniels, he's going to come out with his hair on fire. He's going to be a guy on a mission here. I might take him over 2.5 passing touchdowns.
I love it. I love it. Jerry Davis saying Aaron Jones returns tonight. Finally, some good news. We were waiting for that news, Jerry. So finally we get it. We had expected it, but still, Van Ginkel not coming back scared me.
Yeah, Chef Tony, we're on the same page on this one, man. And don't think we can't disagree, but I'll always respond.
Yeah, no, it's part of the fun. There's no harm in disagreeing. It's not a bunch of yes men. If we were a bunch of yes men, we wouldn't be gamblers. Kansas -2.5 for Daby Cab, posted on his X. What juice did you get on
that? -110.
And it was a -112 on the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, beautiful. That was a great line you got on both of these here.
Yeah, the Ole Miss, it only moved up to that 6 for like an hour and a half. And I guess I just saw it right when it moved because I was going back and forth and I got it. And then like 2 hours later, it was back down. It dropped all the way down to like a 4.5 for 1 point, I think, after I bet it. But it for sure down to a 5. But then it's come back up to 5.5. So
great job. Great job on both. And for those of you watching the clip of this video, he's talking about the Ole Miss. Yeah, Daby Cab on Ole Miss +6. Here he's on Kansas -2.5 and -110, beating both of these line moves. Res Mob aligned with Daby Cab as well. And let's move on to the next spot on the board for Daby Cab best bets, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. This one is a beauty. The number 15th ranked Missouri Tigers, 6-1, 2-1 the SEC. At the number 10 ranked Vanderbilt Commodore, 6-1, 2-1 the SEC. First Bank Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, I had Vandy last week. The problem was that I had the first half under and the full game under as well. It was an impressive victory at home versus LSU. And, there's not, what can you say about Pavia, man? He'll take the heat. He'll step up and he'll deliver in tough situations. He's easy to believe in. Unfortunately, I had Auburn plus 1.5 against Missouri, and that one stung. That one hurt badly. Missouri looked tough at home against Alabama. We've all grown to really respect what Alabama is doing. No shame in having your lone loss of the year against Alabama. Maybe you don't want it to be at home. But they win in double overtime at Auburn, and they didn't look very good doing it. That is the situation. Both teams do get wins after losses. Vanderbilt was more impressive. It's tougher to play at Alabama. I think we can kind of look past the 30-14 loss. And they bounce back. And now they have consecutive home games, and Missouri has consecutive road games.
Jimmy,
remember, yeah.
Just while you're on it, just to point on it, that 30-14 loss, 1, Jam Miller scored with 21 seconds left in the game, and 2, Vanderbilt fumbled the ball on the 2-yard line or inside the 10-yard line twice that game. So I just wanted to point that out.
No, important. One of the reasons why I was fading Missouri was they hadn't played on the road all year. And now back-to-back road games. We'll see them have to do this again at the end of the year. At the end of the year, November 22nd at Oklahoma and November 29th at Arkansas. But this is very difficult at Auburn, and then 7 days later at Vandy. We have beautiful weather right now in Nashville. It's about 70 Fahrenheit game time, but 5-mile-per-hour winds. It's cloudy, but it's perfect for football. Let's get into the line history and hear how Daby Cab is attacking this one. This one popping off at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. And we have here we go. We have a total of 53.5. I'm looking at 52.5, flat 52.5, but this one's at 53.5, and it moved up to 53.5 today. It moved up 30 minutes ago. As soon as it got to 53.5, 10-cent movement to the under, but it did climb a point today. It's the first time they've moved the number. They moved it from 52.5 to 53.5. On the spread, we have Vanderbilt minus 2.5 and minus 117. It opened up at minus 2.5 and minus 115 on Saturday, and it took about 18 hours to get to 3. The 3 started moving back towards Missouri at plus 3, back to 2.5 to 2 to 2.5. Overall, we've had 2 cents of movement towards Vanderbilt, so very little. I am looking at a sharp book that is hanging at 3 right now. Justin McKelvey says he wants to bet Missouri, but Pavia always takes care of my pockets. Let's take a look at the cash flow then for this one. We have 64% of the tickets and 51% of the cash on Vandy. Looking here at all of the legal books, nobody has moved it to 3 at this point. And Circa has the flat 2.5. Circa has 71% of the tickets on Vanderbilt and 56% of the cash. If we go over to Action, let's take a look at what they have here for this one. They have a 50-50 ticket count on the total with 59 on the under. And on the spread, they have 54% of tickets and 85% of the cash on Vandy. And the line's not moving there. Kong says, I'm also on Vanderbilt minus 2.5. Take it away for us. Daby Cab, a big one in the SEC. Missouri, Vanderbilt.
I think Stacks summarized it, man. He said, damn, I want to bet Missouri, but Pavia always takes care of my pockets. Look, these lines are fishy as hell this week, guys. How many 2.5s have we seen? Like, I know it's 3 now, but the Kansas game sitting at 2.5, the A&M LSU game sitting at 2.5, the Missouri Vanderbilt game sitting at 2.5. What else? The Iowa State game sitting at 2.5. I probably can keep going, but you get what I'm saying here. This week, that the 2.5 line, something stinks. It's out there over and over again. And last week, the public cleaned the books up on Saturday. So just be weary of that. And I say that knowing that here I am possibly, quote unquote, taking the bait. I took the 2.5 with Vanderbilt here, and it comes down to my trust of Pavia, man. I mean, this Vanderbilt team has playoff aspirations. Not that Missouri doesn't. They both do. Both of these teams have been playing great. But I think Pavia is that X factor that in college football, every once in a while, you see somebody like that comes across and just, it doesn't matter what the situation of the game is. He's going to have his team in it. He's going to give them a chance to win. And at home, a 10th ranked team against a 15th ranked team, this crowd is going to be on their feet. It's going to be an electric environment. And I think that the home crowd in Pavia is going to pull this out at the end. And at 2.5, pulling a game out at the end usually covers it. So I'm going to lay the 2.5 here at Vanderbilt. Now on Missouri, I might take Hardy's rushing prop. I have not bet it yet, but the kid's averaging like 126 yards per game, 120 yards per game, excuse me. And if you have not watched him run the football, do it. It's a lot of fun. The way he hits the hole is electric. He only had 58 yards against Auburn last week, but for all of Auburn's flaws, their defense is outstanding. Anybody who's watched them knows that. And putting up 58 yards against Auburn's defense is no small task. So I might take Ahmad Hardy's rushing prop. But what I did do is I took Vandy -2.5. Maybe it's bait, maybe it's not. In Pavia, we trust.
Vandy -2.5. What juice did you get?
-110. I think it's the fishiest lines, Jimmy. I'm telling you.
It's so give me the breakdown of how you lose this bet.
Pavia fumbles the ball trying to do too much inside the 10-yard line like he did against Alabama. You cannot turn the ball over in the red zone. You've got to capitalize and finish your drives. Missouri is not a team that's going to give you these extra opportunities. But if you do not do that, if you don't turn the ball over, you control the football, I think Vanderbilt wins this game.
What did you think of Missouri's double overtime victory over Auburn?
I wanted Auburn money line going into that game. And it was like they were a 2.5-point favorite, so I just didn't lay it because of the juice. I keep thinking that Auburn's going to turn that corner, but Hugh Freeze is where they're running into. Jackson Arnold sucks, and Hugh Freeze is a problem as a coach. And they still gave Missouri everything that they could handle there. I mean, I think Vanderbilt is just a hands-down better football team than Missouri is.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Daby has moved on Vandy. God, aren't you like, don't you need to see this be a strong 3 like it is in the Kansas game? I mean, in the Kansas game, you have been told by the market you're in a great position and we're worried about it. Here, we're not getting that.
So I've got 3 of those 2.5s bet. I need to get 2 of them right, Jimmy. I need to get 2 of them right because I'm telling you, these lines stink this week. And Chef Tony said they both suck. Yeah, they do. Both these teams are maybe a bit overrated, but I go back to it. In Pavia, we trust. I mean, you saw the Heisman stuff he was doing last week.
Let's roll into our final spot on the board before we get into the NBA, and we have a big one. The Texas A&M Aggies, the team that Daby Cab's father starred on, at the number 20 ranked LSU Tigers. LSU, we just talked about the game against Vandy. LSU's now lost 2 of 3, but those losses came on the road. Now they are back home at night in Tiger Stadium. I mean, it's a tough place to play. Baton Rouge, Tiger Stadium at night. The Aggies are rolling, but it was not a very impressive performance, allowing Arkansas to put up 42 points, barely getting the victory. Now, there was a late touchdown. And
an absolute bullshit holding call that brought Reed's touchdown back. That A&M took a huge lead, but they called it back. But I hear you. But Arkansas's offense is very good. Talon Green, I don't know anybody in college football that can contain Talon Green.
527 yards of offense Arkansas put on Texas A&M. And then A&M has these back-to-back road games, which are tricky. Now, we saw Texas A&M go to South Bend, take care of business. That was their only road game of the year. They came back. They had the 3 straight home games. In those home games, Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, they allow 36 points combined. And then they allow 42 at Kansas. Not only that, they get a bye week after this because it's 3 straight road games, really, for the Aggies. And then, Daby can talk more about what it's like for these kids to have the bye week on deck. We know what it's like in, non-Sunday and football. Up here, up north, when a team has a bye week next week, they're leaving. They're all going back down to America to be with their girlfriends and do whatever, go to Cabo or whatever it is they do. And they're just not locked in. Now, obviously, it's different for these college athletes, but A&M is on the brink of their bye. LSU Tigers back home where they are tough and where games go under. And I've cashed on unders. And unfortunately, I thought that defense would travel to Vanderbilt. And that sadly was not the case. We have a huge move towards, well, it's not really a huge move though. It's we just have the look ahead. That's just like right there. You nailed our first look ahead. This line came out in August 23rd. You've already heard a huge move, so you have an idea. But what do you think the look ahead line before week 0 was for Texas A&M LSU?
LSU -5.5.
God, you're good at this. 5.
Fuck.
LSU -5, but it was juiced to LSU, so it's 5.25.
Okay.
-115 to the -5 was this look ahead line. Nice job, Daby. So this opens up on Saturday at 2:24 p.m. at +1.5. It goes to 2 to 2.5, back to 2, and is at 2.5 right now. LSU home dogs here off of a loss. It is a pretty appealing situation, honestly, to back them here off of a loss at night at home. Now, we know that their offense can struggle at times. We have a total at 48, opened up at 49, dropped down to 48, got down to 47.5 on Monday. We're back at 48, and it is juiced to the over. And then when we get to the cash flow, we have 54% of the tickets and 82% of the cash on Texas A&M. Big bets coming in on Texas A&M. And it is moving at some books. Circa has moved this to a -3, but they're not giving us cash flow. Interestingly enough, though, they moved this to a -3.5 on Saturday night. So it's come back half point. But they opened this line at -2 and it went down to 1.5. And then that was all on Saturday. Got up to -3.5, back to a 3. So let's take a look at the Action Network, just because we're not getting any total information here. And I don't know whether to trust this or not, but let's take a look at what they're offering here. They have 56% of tickets, 57% of cash on A&M. And then on the total, they have 77% of tickets and 74% cash on the under, an under that I find extremely appealing. Daby Cab, take it away. Aggies, Tigers, and Baton Rouge.
So I'll go back to the A&M defense real quick, talking about that Arkansas game and all the points they gave up. Taylon Green is that good, okay? You've got some guys on A&M's defensive line like Cassius Howell or some other people, like you saw Scooby Williams coming in on a blitz from the linebacker position a few times, and they had him dead to rights, Jimmy. I mean, dead to rights. It was going to be 15 yards, 10 yards loss, and he breaks somebody's ankle, then he makes somebody else miss, then he gets outside, and then before you know it, it's not just 10 yards downfield. He's 30, 40, 50 yards downfield. Taylon Green is that good. If you're not auto betting Taylon Green's rushing prop every week, I'm sorry. I've been posting it and I've been giving it out on the tailgate, and we cash it every single time, right? Taylon Green is that guy. So I'm not saying I don't hold it against A&M, but I understand what happened, and I saw it. I saw it. I watched every single play. So many times they had him dead to rights, and he still turned it into 30 yards. Nussmeier's not going to do that, okay? It's not going to happen. Elko's defense, and up until that Arkansas game, in the SEC was playing out of their fucking mind. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was like they gave up like 1 first down on their first 33 third down attempts or something like that. Just absolutely outrageous. He's going to have those same blitz schemes drawn up. The way Elko's defense works is if that guy misses the tackle, like I'm talking like Cassius Howell or somebody, if you miss it, like you're selling out for the play. So if you miss it, a big play happens. I don't trust Nussmeier to make that happen. I don't trust him to make somebody miss. He's not going to get outside the pocket much. I understand Death Valley is a tough place to play. A&M's never won a football game there at night, ever. They haven't won in the last 6 years, I don't think. 0-6 in the last 6 games overall. But you go back in the history, they've never won at night there. Very few teams have. Death Valley is not a place that you go into it at night and win. But you know what? Neither is Notre Dame, right? This team is built different, and I've been saying it all year. You can say, oh, you're a fan, whatever. Guys, I've bet this team all year. Yeah, I went on a couple weeks where I lost a couple bets with them, and that's because I tried to get too cute and I tried to do a prop or something instead of just betting them to cover their spread. But overall, I'm 7-4 betting them on the year, and I got to go back to it here, Jimmy. I'm 7-4 with them, so I'm going to take them again here. I took them at the 2.5. Marcel Reed's not going to turn over the football. You know, that's one thing that I trust him not to do is not turn over the football. And I trust A&M's defense to play a much, much, much more sound football game than they played last week against LSU. This is a team that, you know, you've got Texas left. Who do you have left on the schedule? They win this one, man. They can almost write their check to the college football playoffs. This game right here, if A&M wins it, they are almost signed, sealed, and delivered into the playoffs. And I think they know that. I think they know, hey, going into this bye week, instead of, oh, let's go to Cabo or let's go. No, fuck that. It's let's make the playoffs now, boys. Let's do it right now before our bye week. Let's seal our spot, and then let's go play Sanford or whoever the hell they have before Texas. I mean, this is a fun time to be watching this football team, and I like what Elko's doing. The culture has changed, all right? Everyone who kept saying battered A&M syndrome or battered Aggie syndrome is going to come back, and they're going to go 8-4. I felt it too. I thought it in the back of my mind. I did, but this is year 2 with Elko, okay? We're just now seeing the culture shift from Jimbo, and this is a different team. Marcel Reed is a leader. Ruben Owens in the backfield, Mario Craver, Casey Concepcion, and then the defense, who was underwhelmed because you saw them give up the 40 points against Notre Dame, so we didn't talk about them much. Look at what they did to start the SEC. Take out that Arkansas game, and they're one of the best defenses in college football. I know you can't take it out, but this is not Arkansas's offense here for LSU. Arkansas's offense is hands down a better offense than LSU's. LSU loses this football game, and I'll be honest, A&M might put it on them. We're going to see people leaving. Brian Kelly's time is up, man. Brian Kelly's got to go.
Now, you were an athlete at Texas Tech in a different sport that didn't have buys, but you certainly know all about and had friends playing football, dealing with buys. Are you looking at A&M on the eve of their bye week as a positive or a negative?
Positive, because of the culture. And so that's such a big question too. The culture that Elko has instilled. And I know Wine Time, I send him the videos, but Jimmy, if you watch his speeches and just the way that this team rallies, after every single game, they've got a camera that's set up in the tunnel, and every player that walks by going through the tunnel says who they think should be the player of the game. And I don't know why it's so cool, but just like to see somebody who just, like in a game when Mario Craver had 200 and something yards, and he comes up and says, hey, it's got to be Marcel Reed. Or when the offense puts up 40 points and barely wins, and they come in and say, hey, give it to Cassius Howell on the defense. This team is so together. In all of the years I've watched them, they have never had the unity and the just the sense of like brotherhood that this team has. It's an absolute fucking beautiful thing to see.
So I want the under. Before we get into that, shout out to our guy, Will Johnson, says, late to the party. Beautiful day yesterday. Let's cash day. Big money day incoming. Yeah, Will, we destroyed the NBA card, and I love seeing how much money you made off of it, my man. Shout out to our guy, Will Johnson. $9.99 dono to bless our action. What about the under? I want first half under, full game under.
I think that A&M wins this game 24-17. Under is a beautiful bet.
I'm going to move on that today.
24-20 maybe. LSU keeps it close, maybe, but you get there. You get there on the under.
Daby Cab on A&M -2.5 and -110. So just before we leave it, why are you not betting the under?
I might actually. Now that you say that, I might. It's just one of those things where, since I have the Saturday show, I kind of let some of the things marinate. I might buy in on that under as well.
We have Robert Franklin on LSU +2.5. Bruce Hayward says Texas A&M overrated. Look at the strength of schedule difference between these two teams. Says, give me LSU money line all day.
Hey, I heard Wine Time say something about that. Just make sure that you're not just assuming you know the strengths of schedule and go check it, because A&M's strength of schedule is number 11 right now. So just make sure you actually check things before you say them, fellas.
Lucky Lefty on AM first half. DC Capper on AM -2.5. Chosen One on LSU outright. So it's a fun game. These 2.5s always create both sides of the coin here.
LSU's strength of schedule 15, A&M 11. LSU's rating at 11.7. A&M is rating at a 12.4. Again, just check it before you say it, fellas. What do you mean it's not true? Okay, I guess they just lied on the thing I'm looking at.
Hey, it gets a little heated when we're investing our hard-earned money in these things. And we love BJ. We love all you guys. This is all about getting the bag, and we don't need to take the same route. Daby Cab on A&M -2.5. He's on Vanderbilt -2.5. He's on Kansas -2.5. What a greasy Saturday.
Stop. I don't want to hear that again.
And then we have Ole Miss +6 at -112. Daby Cab making his triumphant return to betting with the bag. Great job, Daby. That was really fun to watch you rock and watch you cook. Great work. I'm happy that you're starting to feel better, my man. We love having you rocking with us. So thank you for your time and your energy and your angles. And please support Daby Cab. We got the tailgate popping off on Saturday. What's in store for us?
Oh, man, week 1 and week 0 were a little shaky, but since then the guys have been rolling, and I just got to give them a shout out, man. Guns, Wine Time, Moose Money. Man, Moose up like 15 units the last 2 weeks, boys. Doing the Moose Dive for you guys. Have you had a chance to check that out, Jimmy?
Sorry, say it again. Sorry, we didn't know.
Moose Dive, have you even heard about it or checked it out?
No.
Dude, Moose has put just hours and hours and hours of work into capping before the season every single football team, and then pretty much every game every week. He does extensive write-ups, and he gives it to all of us for free. All you got to do is click his Google Doc, and he gives it to us. And like I said, up 15 units the past 2 weeks, so shout out to Moose. And then Jose came on and won. God, I wasn't expecting that. Shout out to Jose. Swept the board, too. He's like, hey, I'm coming on. Didn't ask, Jimmy. Didn't say, hey, can I come on your show? No. Hey, I'm coming on. I cap college football now. Oh, okay, Jose. Well, he swept the board, so shout out to Jose, man. It's been a lot of fun on the tailgate, so hopefully I see you guys there Saturday, and I will be back here with you again, Jimmy, soon. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all soon.
Respect. There he is, Daby Cab. Yeah, Mr. Sparkle, we will discuss it because it is time for NBA right now. We got 2 games in NBA, and good God, did we put in work. The only thing that kept me from going 8-0, really privately 9-0, because I got the Suns +8.5 live, was the Celtics falling apart in the fourth quarter. Edgecombe doing his thing. That was it. Celtics -4.5 was a loss. Raptors +6 cashed. Bulls +3 cashed. Grizzlies -4 cashed. I could have gotten live on the Grizzlies. I timed it wrong. It was 4.5. I was like, I want 8.5s. If it's a big enough favorite, I'll take a 6.5. But 8.5 is my number for live basketball. 8.5, and I'll wait, and I'll wait, and I'll wait. And the funny thing about the Suns, because I could have got better than that, got up to like 13, 14.5. But sorry, Grizzlies -4 cash, Bucks -10. Bucks -10. That's the 95% of the cash is on the Bucks. Sometimes you ride with the public. Very, very, very rarely. But I didn't care. Bucks -10, -105 cash. Spurs +3 cashed. Blazers +4.5 cashed. Suns -3.5 cashed. Fucking 7-1. Now, look, my record will come up. It's it's just okay, 8-5. But the main thing that the 7-1 did, not only did it bring in a lot of cash that I needed after blowing a bunch on Saturday in college football, but it gave me confidence. Sometimes that's all you need. A gambler with hope is a dangerous man. Let's bring on our stars of NBA programming here, and we will ask that question here, Mr. Sparkle. Please welcome the star of the Locker Room Talk podcast, our number 1 show here on the channel, coming to us from South Jersey, a fixture on all shows that I'm a part of, and will be on our live stream this evening, our guy, Mr. Biily Brisbane. Brizzy, what's good, man? How are you?
Doing good. Getting ready for a good Thursday here and get geared up here for the weekend. Nice little NBA card, some appetizers here while we get to watch the Thursday night football stream tonight.
I'm excited. But I hear what Will Smith's saying. Will Smith's got Minnesota Money Line. He says he's scared. I get it. It's not going to be a relaxing game to watch. Brizzy, thank you for joining us here. Let's bring on our next guest, fresh off helping me get that cash yesterday. It was funny. There was a guy in the chat was like, you guys aren't capping the X's and O's. You're only capping the market. And I was a taint hair away from 8-0, doing what we do to succeed. And, this isn't a popularity contest. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Please welcome our next guest. Can't wait to rock with him here today. 2 games on our card. Please welcome the star of the 2-3 zone over at Tony's Picks, our guy, Justin Mcelvey.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
Justin, what's good, man? How are you?
Pretty good, Jimmy Grizz. What's up?
Stacks.
How you been?
I've been good, man. Fucking degenning it up. So I'm glad to get back to regular programming.
Let's answer this first question. It must be answered. First, Mr. Sparkle. Mr. Sparkle says, I don't have it here in front of me anymore. I had it, but basically he would like us to touch on what the biggest news story of the day was today. He says, please address the FBI arrests before the start of NBA. I would love to hear Capper's opinions instead of the news. We know this is going on. No, so I'm not surprised at all. The fact that it was Chauncey Billups hurts my feelings. That's all. I believe in the man. I've been a fan of his for a long time, so I'm sad. That's all.
But Jim, I thought it was poker. Like it was like poker gambling type of like the mafia. It wasn't like he was like betting against his team or betting on his team.
But for Chauncey, it was about poker.
Yeah.
Well, I need to read more of these stories because I was so I was getting sent them by everybody, and I was like, I'm trying to cap.
Nah, it's like because the Chauncey one, I feel you. That one grew on me too. And then I read the article. It was some bullshit, man.
Just poker.
It was like Gilbert Arenas. Like
I'm about to say like some illegal poker type shit. Like
who cares about that?
I ain't mad at him. Play a little poker.
Yeah.
You know how the American storyline headliners are. Chauncey Billups gets suspended by the FBI for gambling.
Suspended by everybody, yeah.
Like the Terry Rozier one, we already knew that motherfucker was gambling on games. They shouldn't have allowed him back in the first place.
But we know these fringe guys are gambling on trying to get an extra buck. Who cares? So we know this exists, is what I'm saying, Mr. Sparkle, and we know we have no control over it. So it's up to you. If you're going to be concerned to bet player props, because of Jonte Porter Jr. Or sorry, he's not junior, is he? Just Jonte Porter. Then don't bet him. Look, this just exists. It exists more in college than it does in NBA, and it just exists. It's not going to change anything that I do. I'm just glad that Chauncey wasn't a part of it. That makes me feel much better. So let's just touch on Terry and others. Justin, does it concern you to bet props?
Not one bit. I don't care about none of it. It's just like telling me something like you said, like I already know.
Yeah.
I already know these boys is gambling. I don't feel like it changes absolutely nothing. Whether I'm going to bet props, yes. Overs, unders, yes. Not really unders. I don't bet too many unders, but overs, absolutely. We know these boys is gambling. Like, it's a different sport, but Calvin Ridley's name's in it. Why do you think the Falcons got rid of him? Like, you think because they get caught, they stop? Come on, man. Up until recently, I lived the life of crime. I ain't never stopped until recently. Like, we know they're gambling. They got millions and they want to bet millions. I would too. I ain't gonna say I wouldn't do it. I probably would.
My frustration's more about the fucking injury news reports. I feel like we're in mid-March on opening night. Like, how do you
That's what I don't like.
How is somebody questionable on opening night? Like, what the fuck?
That was crazy.
Like, it's just ridiculous. The injury news reports have been ridiculous. And this is another game coming up right here, Thunder and Pacers. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Thunder injury news report, but it's littered with a bunch of names.
Well,
we knew that from the Rockets game, though.
Let's get to work and hammer away. We got 2 games on the card here. And I think you guys know that it's winning is not just about your bankroll and keeping your life together. It's also about trusting your takes. And if you don't trust your edges and your angles, you can't win. You'll question, second guess everything. So yesterday was incredibly important for me, and I'm ready to just move forward. That's all. I started off 1-4, questioned some of the thought process, and 7-1. Let's move forward. We start 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Oklahoma City Thunder 1-0. Pacers starting their season here at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Indianapolis, Indiana. Wasn't long ago when these guys faced each other with it all on the line. Now, of course, Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. It was a bit of a letdown in Game 7. TJ McConnell is out as well. So there are some questions about rhythm for the Pacers after we watched them look so good last year. I think we can excuse what happened with the Thunder. The ring ceremony slowed them down. They didn't seem too right. And now they're even more beat up. No Caruso, no Isaiah Joe. We know that Jalen Williams is out. Nothing's changed there. So then we have important question marks around Case and Wallace and Lou Dort. I'm sure Brizzy's looked into whether they were at a shoot around, and he will let us know. McConnell being out is an issue, but the lineup with Nemhard, Mathurin, Naismith, Siakam, and then we have Isaiah Jackson at the 5. It was a bit of a mind mess that Miles Turner left, but he left and they move on. So let's take a look at the line history and the plan of attack from our guys here. We'll start with this line history. Sorry, let me quickly get over to NBA and move this over here to the cash flow here, and we roll. So, yesterday, the comment that the guy said in the chat, you guys aren't talking X and O's. I was thinking about all that, and look, we don't have data. All we're doing is taking a look at these rosters and making decisions about what we expect. Until we have data, you're not going to see us break, well, the pace of play will do this, and we know we had no idea what who was coming in off the bench, how everything was going to look, what how the coaches were going to handle minutes. So I thought what we did yesterday was, obviously, I made a shitload of money and I needed it. And it was, I thought we did a great job. And I don't think we can do too much now with Oklahoma City and Golden State. We've now watched them. We have a little tiny bit of data. Here, market-wise, Oklahoma City opening up -7.5. They get up to 8.5, and they're right back at 7.5. Obviously, a game under their belt helps, but this is maybe an overreaction to what's going on to the Pacers in the offseason. This total opens up at 228.5. We are now at 231.5. Cash flow-wise, 55% of the tickets and 65% of the cash is on Indiana. So I think that it would be fair to say that this line is kind of set up for gamblers to back Indiana. Let's just see what Circa has done here. They have not told us what their cash flow is, but they have not moved it off the 7.5. It's just been sitting there all day. I wouldn't mind seeing what Action has here to see if they've got a lot of tickets on Indiana, because my first thought is, they're going to give you a line that makes gamblers want to back Indiana. 68% of the tickets, 63% of the cash is on Indiana. That is our situation here. Thunder, Pacers, Brizzy, get us started, my friend.
I think it's a tricky matchup with the NBA Finals rematch here, defending champs. Both teams have a lot of injuries. Pacers more than the Thunder. No McConnell, no Halliburton. The departure of Miles Turner, while their replacements are some of their core prospects that are coming up. It could just be a long season, but I do expect the Pacers to get up for opening night, though, tonight. The combination of, going into double overtime, some of the players getting hurt. We got Lou Dort questionable, Carson Wallace also questionable, but I'm kind of leaning towards Carson Wallace playing. And then the travel, I think it could be a slow start for Oklahoma City in this game. So I kind of don't want to bet on them pre-flop, but I did take a player prop in this game. It was Aaron Wiggins. This one just keeps on going up. 15.5 points and rebounds. I mean, I like the points prop. 3-pointer prop as well, probably as well. 1.5 is -122. With Caruso and J-Dub both out of this game, I feel like Wiggins is going to have to step up and play 25, 30-plus minutes and have to take some shots tonight. Last season, in the last month of the year, he went over his point prop in 7 of his last 8 games played when he played 25-plus minutes. And I feel like for the Pacers, for as much as they lost during the offseason, I think it's really the size. You look at the roster of this team, is really not that tall of a roster. I mean, Isaiah Jackson might be in the starting lineup for this game. It's just like, I don't know, man. More and more I kind of look at the Pacers, the more and more it might be a long season for them. But Benedict Mathurin might have a good game tonight. 18.5 points is his prop. He receives the biggest boost whenever Halliburton is out. 7 games without him last season, without Halliburton on the court, Mathurin went over in all 7 games played that he played 30-plus minutes, averaging 21 points, 6.9 rebounds, 2.6 assists. So I think he's going to probably have to take a big offensive role tonight. That's kind of what I'm expecting to see when I'm watching this game. But I think the Pacers could just have it for one game, but it could be a long season, if that makes sense. Of like, my season viewpoint of this team is down, but tonight, I mean, this is a good spot for them. But I'm staying off the Thunder here.
It's just there's still such a big favorite. I mean, who in their right mind wants the Thunder off double overtime with this injury report, a 7.5-point favorites against the team they beat for the NBA championship on the road? Nobody. So why is this number sitting here? It doesn't make any sense. And I guess it has to do with what you're talking about with the matchups. Because regardless of the issues on the injury report for OKC, they still have, like you talked about, this huge, enormous height advantage with Holmgren and Hartenstein. And Jalen Williams, the other one, if they bring him in. So let's hear from Justin McKelvey. Thunder Pacers, take it away.
Yeah, I got 2 plays in this game. And one of them I just stumbled upon a gem this morning. But my first one is Stacks play today. Am I echoing?
There was something there for a second, but it's
okay. First play Stacks play today is Indiana Pacers team total over 111.5. Got that at minus 115. And I just feel like I don't know about covering. I don't know about who's going to win this game. I do lean the Pacers, but I feel like with the overtime game, double overtime, game 1, and traveling a little bit, then you got this first home game with the Pacers. Pacers, they're going to want nothing else, but if they don't want nothing else, they're going to want to beat these boys. Like, this is a team that messed up your championship. Like, they eliminated you. So I feel like this is a perfect spot. Just go out here and score some points. I expect by the second half, even if it starts off slow, like as far as the Pacers scoring, I still expect second half, legs get a little tired. So, because, like, go back to, we talked about it yesterday, that Rockets game was extremely low the first half. And what helped me get to this Pacers, because all of a sudden, there was like 49 points scored in 2 overtimes, 41 points in 2 overtimes in that Rockets OKC. So it was like, so you ended the game on a double overtime, scoring all these points. Now you're playing a team that wants to place you anyway. I think the second half, your legs are going to get a little tired. This should go over like 115, 117. I'm expecting by the Pacers. So Stacks play today number, I forget what number it is. Oh, Stacks played number 1 because that's when the next game is Pacers over 111.5 team total.
111.5 minus 115. So did you have a second spot that you found on this one?
I do.
Okay.
And that's Pascal Siakam. One plus block at plus 135 at Bet Rivers. Every game they played in the championship last year, he had a block every single game. So I think in Pascal, nothing else, I feel like he's going to go out here and try to do everything possible to win this game. Like, I don't want to mess with his points, rebounds. I like all that. Points, rebounds, assists. I just see him going crazy. Like, this is going to be the engine, and you're going to follow your team. And I know he wants to get at him, so I expect him to do everything. So all I need is 1 block for plus 135. It's actually over a half a block plus 135. I just call it 1 plus.
Yeah, no, I feel you. A block at plus 135. That those bets I have such a difficult time watching.
Got to watch the whole game. That's the only thing.
Oh God, you need 1 block, and you're sitting there staring at him every time.
And you got to make sure it's not a foul.
Yeah. 2 spots for Justin, 1 for Brizzy. What was the Wiggins over 15.5? Brizzy?
15.5 points and rebounds, but we might have to look around for a new line, though, because that shit got slapped. Like, I know that shit got slapped after that injury news report came out. Let me see what sportsbooks still at 15.5.
Let's take a look and see what we are
Should've
dealing
got
with here.
slapped.
Yeah, that shit definitely.
Nice. We got our guy Yenny in the house. Is joining us from Las Heaven, Vegas. I love it, man. Go get that cash, man. I love that you're there. God, I miss it. Let's see what we can get now here on that Wiggins prop, because this is interesting. So let me ask you this from a rhythm or from a X's and O's standpoint. If the Thunder have this enormous height advantage, it means that the Pacers aren't going to be able to get anything inside, and which means that they're going to be taking a bunch more threes and a bunch more outside shots because they're not going to get anything inside. They're also not going to get many offensive boards or anything like that. This total is going up then, not because they're not going to be able to get anything inside, because they're going to be firing away from outside. Is that why this total is climbing and not dropping, Brizzy?
I would say the total's been dropping, not climbing, if that makes sense. Of like from the opener, it went up, but I'm saying from a majority of the people that are betting today and stuff like that on the total are really taking the under. I feel like this line keeps continuing to go down.
This line's not going down.
I got 232s and 231s across.
Yes, it opened up last night at 229.
So it was 2:30 this morning on most of my book.
It's still climbing. I'm watching it climb. I mean, you're right. It did at 8 a.m. It got to 232.5. So I don't see any 232.5s anymore. Just 232s. Oh, and it looks like BOL just moved it to 231.5.
That's just the way I saw it. I didn't start looking at this until probably 4 or 5 a.m. today. And I saw 232, went down to 231. Because, back in the day, not meaning back in the day years ago, back in the day last year, it was anytime you saw OKC was team total over. Trust me, that was the first thing I thought about was the team total over when they played the Rockets. And the market kept on saying that game was going to be an under. So I stayed off the team total. That should end up cashing. And now in this game, I like the team total over 120.5 for the Thunder, but the market is saying a different story. The market tells me I like the unders to sharp play in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think so from X's and O's standpoint. Let me just quickly see if I was having problems getting 365 up earlier. So right now, the offshore I'm looking at is not offering Wiggins points and rebounds. They're just offering his PRA. That's at 18.5. So let me see what we can find here. And we got to move.
Oh, there's 80 games in a season. I mean, you know how many days that goes?
Oh, here we go. I'm back now. Okay, we're good. Okay, so then let's just see what we're getting here for a PR. I find this. What do the Pacers have to shoot from outside to get to this total over 231.5? They'll have to shoot over 40% from three, because they're not going to get offensive boards. They have no height. I don't understand why this total is so high, and I'm nervous about getting in the way of it. Let's just see the points and rebounds here. Points and rebounds over under. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's just 16.5 now. It's not so bad. Your 15.5 is valid. And 16.5 with regular VIG. So what did you get? What was your VIG on the over 15.5 points and rebounds?
15.5 at minus 120 at FanDuel. I would take the 3-point prop too as well. I don't think Aaron Wiggins is getting to 12 points unless he's hitting 2 threes.
Well, this is very juiced, the 3-point prop. I'm looking at a very sharp book that has it at minus 180.
Damn.
And this one for I've got here at the public 365 is minus 155.
To be honest with you, NBA player props are on some mid-March stuff. These lines are getting steamed early, I feel like, especially with there only being 2 games on the slate.
This just does not make sense to me. This line doesn't make sense. This total doesn't make sense. So part of me is saying, well, then stay off of it. But the other part of me is saying the books are asking for Pacers money, and I don't see how this game goes over unless the Pacers shoot 45% from three. So I'll have to sit with it for a little bit longer. But Brizzy on Wiggins over 15.5 points and rebounds minus 120. Justin on Pacers team total over 111.5 minus 115, and Pascal Siakam a block at plus 135. We move on to game 2 here. Aubrey on the Pacers plus 8.5. I do think I'm going to move on this Thunder Pacers game. I just want to sit with it a little longer because when something doesn't make sense, I just need to have conviction to say, oh, it does make sense, and I'm going to bet it this way.
What do you think, how much value do you think Lou Dort has into the line? Like if he got ruled out, do you think it would go down a half a point?
Yes. Yes, I do. But I don't see how it could possibly go up to 8 or 8.5 if he's announced in. It's just, this is too big of a line. Who in their right mind would bet the Thunder at this line? And that's what we dealt with yesterday. And we cashed all those spots. Who in their right mind wanted the Suns with that roster? We cashed that. Who in there? I mean, we go through everything. So many spots that we attacked yesterday. I was like, well, this doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, then we bet it. But let's roll on to game 2. And we are joined by our fourth head here. Please welcome from our home studio of Southtown 101 in San Antonio, Texas, Mr. Jose Bouquet here for game 4. Jose, how are you?
I don't like betting the NBA, so let's find out here. This sport is fucking a bitch to bet. But I found this next game to be very appealing.
I love betting the NBA. It's okay to be afraid of it. It's a very dangerous sport to bet. Good. Yeah. We're gamblers. More danger, please. Nuggets Warriors is our night game. We got a lot, of course, with our NFL game. Sweaty Butcher in the house as well. Great to see you, Sweaty Butcher. I'd like to figure out and work with you to get some Sweaty Butcher rocking with us live here with NBA as well. The Nuggets making their season bow here tonight. And we just watched the Warriors take care of the Lakers, and I thought they looked very good doing it. Butler looked happy, in rhythm, 31 points. He looked like a coach on the floor. He looked so good, in complete control. Draymond Green was playing his heart out. Kuminga went 4 of 6 from 3. Buddy Hield went 5 of 10 from 3. Buddy Bucket's doing his thing. The bench looked deep. You bring Horford and Payton off the bench, you get instant defense and accountability. They looked very good. A game under their belt, a little bit of confidence. Let's get into the line history here for this one, and then hear from you guys. We'll go around the horn and our expectations for this Denver Nuggets squad. We have a healthy Denver Nuggets squad, and nothing changing here for the Warriors with Melton and Moody out. So everything status quo. We have a total here at 233.5. It opened up at 233.5. So we've had no change. It did drop to 232.5, did get up to 234, but we're right back from where we started. And then on the point spread here for this one, sorry, get this. It's not loading here. Get this point spread up. And Justin, when do you have to go? Because maybe we'll go with you first. How long do we have you for?
About 10 after I got to leave.
About 10 after. Okay,
yeah.
So we'll start with Justin and then give Justin time to rock. So we have the Warriors opening up at plus 1.5. They got up to -3. They were -3. Now, this is last night at 9:58 p.m. Now we're back down to -2. It is a pretty sensible number to me. So I guess the curiosity would be the cash flow from Jose. We have 58% of tickets, 73% of the cash on the Nuggets. We have 54% of tickets on the under and 66% of cash on the under. Now that's at the site we trust. Let's see what's happening on the strike we don't trust. 69% of the tickets and 59% of the cash is on the Nuggets. But let's go to the money line. The money line has 62% of the tickets and 53% of the cash on the Warriors. That's always what's going to be tricky about the odds logic board is it's spread. It's not going to be money line information, and the money line will change your thought process when you see, because if you were betting a big bet on this game, you probably would take the money line here. You wouldn't bet the spread. So I think that it would be a valid angle if you said, well, I don't need to know the spread information. When we get to the total, we have 78% of tickets on the over and 70% cash on the over. Justin McKelvey, we've heard Stacks play today, number 1. Let's hear number 2.
Yeah, Stacks play today. Number 2 is Jokic, 12 plus rebounds, minus 105. And I think this is just, to me, like, that was like the first thing that stuck out to me. Like, I didn't want to be on the side because the line switched on me. I think but the Nuggets opened up as a favorite. So when I missed that, I had to deviate. I'm in the player props anyway. And when I started digging, like, he averages 31, 13, and 9 against these boys. And I always want to go against the centers with against Draymond Green. Just ask, I don't care about the PRA. I kind of like the triple double, but to get 12 rebounds, I expect them to get like 13, not 13, like 14, 15. Just keep your average and this cashes with ease. I love this spot for Jokic.
Jokic, 12 rebounds here for Justin McKelvey.
Minus 105.
Do you agree with this, before you go, do you agree with this market move of the Warriors going from dog to favorite?
I don't understand what happened, because it was minus 1.5 yesterday when we did the show. So minus 1.5 that can't be betting a whole lot of money from 1.5 to 2.5 favorite. Unless I'm tripping on the line way it opened it yesterday. I swear it was Nuggets minus 1.5.
Yeah.
And the Nuggets are healthy, so I mean that's like a damn near Brinks truck. Minus 1.5 to plus 2.5 a dog. That's a lot.
It is, and it should be respected with more bets coming in on the Nuggets, except for the money line. That's where we see it here. Justin, coming off a 2-2 day yesterday here. Records have all been sent in to Jose, so we're going to wait till there's more. Jose can handle whenever he wants to show them however he wants. If he wants more sample size, that's all good. 2-2 day for Justin yesterday. Justin, excellent work. Go get that cash. Jokic, 12 or more rebounds, and he's got Pacers team total over 111.5 and Siakam a block at plus 135. Justin has the 2-3 zone popping off tonight.
We had a lot of time changes. We did it like 7:30 this morning.
Oh wow! Okay,
for tomorrow. Yeah, I just gotta get my daughter out the bus, so I'll still be in the chat. I'll bring y'all with me.
Respect. I'm gonna pop your X handle here in the chat, Justin. Thank you for everything that you do for us, my man. Go out there and get that cash, and please support Justin on X. Puts all his action out. Doesn't ask for anything in return. Just wants us as a community, as a group of friends, to beat the books. I'm gonna pop his X handle in the chat. Justin, any last words for the Captain Sport in the show?
Thanks for having me. Let's sweet.
Let's get it. There he is, Justin McKelvey here. So, Brizzy, talk to us about MPJ not on the floor, Cameron Johnson on the floor. How does that change things?
I mean, I feel like one team I'm just going to be over the heels high on this season is just going to be Denver. I feel like it's addition by subtraction with Porter for Cameron Johnson, and then you bring back Bruce Brown, and then you get Jonas Valanciunas to back up Jokic. I feel like it's just like a match. Those matches are made in heaven, I feel like. Fading the Warriors, though, on opening night in Golden State, I feel like is definitely asking for it, but I'm willing to take it. Golden State won the previous meeting between these two teams, but prior to that, Denver won 9 straight against this team. Jokic seems like an ongoing problem for them to defend, and I don't think Al Horford's really going to change that too much. He's only expected to play 20 minutes. I like Denver here on the money line. I took Denver here on the money line at plus 112, and I kind of leaned towards another under here, but I didn't take it. I'm not really going to fuck around with these totals. But the 2 player props that I like the most in this game are both Jokic props, over 28.5 points, minus 112. He's averaged 33 points a game in his last 6 meetings versus Golden State. I like the triple double prop for Jokic as well. And I'm with Stacks. I did like the rebound prop at 11.5. He's going over his rebound prop 15 out of those last 20 games. Golden State, 3rd most rebounds to centers last year. But only bet that I have in this game, Denver money line plus 112. Big boy bet.
Denver money line plus 112. So let me ask you this then. What does this line move do to you? Nothing, something, scare you, concern you, give you more confidence? What does it do?
I mean, it's the NBA. People are going to take Golden State and Steph, especially they just beat the Lakers. I mean, Steph was putting on a Steph masterclass. But I think people are thinking like, it's the Nuggets of last year. I think the Nuggets are. I mean, the Bruce Brown one is huge, man. Like, you're not asking Christian Braun to be your second, third option anymore. You're asking him to be fourth, fifth guy in the rotation now. He's taking the role back. It's just like I think it's going to work for the Nuggets, and I think it's going to work early because it's not like they're asking like a bunch of changes. I feel like they're boosting the roles around Jokic, and that's what they should have done a long time ago.
The Bruce Brown pickup, I mean, anybody could have had Bruce Brown for a cup of coffee. $3 million 1-year contract. Don't we think that it's the idea is that if you're going to have Hardaway as part of your second unit?
Oh, Bruce Brown, Jim. When they won the championship, Bruce Brown was a key part of that team. When he went to free agency that summer, he asked for way too much fucking money. The Nuggets looked at him and said, "Are you fucking serious? Go out in the free agency." And he went out in the free agency last year and got signed and did jack shit. And that's how he ended up back on a $3 million contract because he should have never asked for no fucking $20+ million just because they won the championship. I think the Bruce Brown is huge for them.
So last year when he was scratching himself on the bench for the Raptors, did you think that was a mistake of roster management?
No, I to be honest with you, I think he just signed to the team that was just going to give him the most amount of money, and he didn't give a fuck. He was playing basketball like he didn't give a fuck. Sometimes I feel like with NBA players, they have to be around in winning cultures to play like they give a fuck. Look at like Kyle Kuzma.
Interesting. Very interesting. Jose Bouquet, you've watched this line go from dog to favorite. You've heard your colleague and friend Brizzy moving on the other side, trusting his cap. What the hell are you going to do, my man?
Yeah, I mean, the funny enough thing is I agree with everything Billy says here. I think the Denver Nuggets are the NBA champions at the end of the season. I think they're very, very good, and I trust Jokic and everything. And I was shocked to see the Warriors were favored, honestly. So I went ahead and I bet the Warriors money line plus or minus 130. I was like, what? Why are they favored at all? I was like, the Nuggets should be like, I thought Nuggets -1, -2. Jokic is going to dominate, et cetera, et cetera. But I took the Warriors here, hoping that there'd be a bunch of money and bets on the Nuggets at a dog price. And you know, it's about. Let me double check the thing here, but I saw 57% here, 58% of the bets, and 73% of the money on Denver spread. And then you dropped the money line here, which was what again, Jimmy?
Sorry, I will pull it up here because you mean what is the Action Network talking about the money line?
Yeah, because you said there's much more bets on the Warriors money line, correct?
Correct. 62% of the tickets, 53% of the cash.
Yeah, which definitely doesn't make me feel great. This is one of those chances or one of these games where I've got to stick my head in the sand and hope the Action Network is wrong, I guess. But yeah, I'm on the Warriors minus 130. I will probably not be making many basketball bets this season, but I will be tracking them and seeing how they go. So the first one on the board here, minus 130 for me.
So I think the problem is the bias from Warriors looking so good against not a very good Laker team at this point. But so just so you know, it's so interesting, and it's going to be such a big part of our basketball capping is when these short lines are around, whether or not so since this money line came out, it came out at 11:42 p.m. last night. The line's moved to the Nuggets.
It's a concern.
And it didn't at first. The first 5-cent move was toward the Warriors. But then there was a, you know, it's gone. But so there was a move toward, there was a 17 cent move towards the Nuggets. The Nuggets got to minus 102. So there was actually a 22-cent move if you include the 5 cents away. Then it went right back to the Warriors. Warriors got hammered again. So overall, though, this has moved 9 cents towards the Nuggets. 9 cents away from the Warriors. Wow. And Ulysses Hayes on the Warriors money line. I thought that I was going to So let's do something. So we have on Wednesday on Tuesday we had this situation where the Warriors went from dogs to favorites. Now they didn't really once the injury report came out and we had an understanding of what was going to happen. So at that point, let's say it just moved up like a point, which I still thought was very fishy. And I moved on the Lakers. And that was wrong. But I thought the Bulls line was very fishy. I thought there was a lot of fishy shit going on yesterday, and we took advantage of it. So sometimes you're going to be right, sometimes you're going to be wrong. So here with the money line in that Warriors game, it didn't move really towards them either. Once, because that line came out late. So it did overall, I guess, from the time it came out, it moved. I guess overall it moved 13 cents. But for most of the day, it was a 5-cent move towards the Warriors. I guess this might be beyond my pay grade.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think the market really matters. Like, whoever you think is going to win the game, I feel like you should just take on the money line. Like, it'll probably come down to some bullshit ass 2-point shot. But if you like the Warriors, I would just take it money line. If you like Denver, then put your balls on the table. Take some of that plus money.
Aubrey says Bulls could have easily lost that game. Of course. Look, the Sixers could have easily lost that game. The Magic could have easily lost that game.
The Magic, oh my God. Desmond Bain with the Magic might be a little something cooking for the Orlando Magic.
The Suns could have easily lost. I mean, that's just basketball. The Timberwolves could have easily lost the game. It's always going to be like that. I mean, I'm not saying that there was a smash and grab. I'm just saying that we won a bet. That's all with the fishy line. It's not.
Sometimes you got to celebrate the wins, man.
Fuck yeah!
But shout out to the Spurs, yeah.
And BJ agreeing beyond their pay grade.
Do we start hammering VJ Edgecombe Rookie of the Year props now? Because
what a performance!
I like Coop and all that. Coop is my guy. I'm a big Cooper Flag standboy. But I think VJ Edgecombe might edge it out in stats.
It's pretty nice being under the radar a little bit. All eyes on Cooper Flag, Yeah,
I mean, VJ Edgecombe has such a cocky attitude to him. That's why Baylor sucked last year.
That was wild to watch him just destroy. That's the most points scored by in his first game, first-year player since Wilt. I
was watching the game for the entirety of it. You could see it in his face. He wanted to shoot more, but he was looking at Embiid. He was looking at Max. He was like, damn, do I just say fuck these guys and shoot it? He said, damn it, I'm going to do it. And he started doing it. God bless him, though, because we might need it. Embiid looked cooked.
Well, I think that this Nuggets Warriors game is just it's just
what are you thinking? Or what are you betting?
Nothing.
I mean, you got it.
I know I can't. I think that the problem with this move to the Warriors is that there's a bias from what we saw them against the Lakers. We don't really know what the Nuggets are going to offer.
The people don't understand. The Lakers fucking suck.
Well, I think we got some idea of that. Some idea of that. So this one, but the Thunder Pacers game, I'm gonna still work on these two games now. My daughter's 6, so I don't have to take her to basketball. It means I can for 3 hours.
Did you feel any conviction? We're not talking about NBA totals too much, but if you had a $500 free bet and you can only bet it on a total, what total would you take on the 2-game slate tonight?
Oh, I'm probably going to bet the under in Thunder Pacers. Yeah. I'm going to bet it, I think. I just want to sit with it for a little bit longer and study it for a little bit longer. And not only will I then bet it, I'll bet the first half under and full game. All my totals now are not splitting a unit. If I don't want to bet totals.
I don't either, yeah.
So maybe I should just not bet totals.
I don't.
How do I have an advantage?
When I first looked at the game, I wanted to bet the OKC team total over, but the market says that shit might go under.
It's a good thing you said that because I do not want to bet totals, and I shouldn't. And what did I do last night? 7-1 with no totals. Preston says home teams are 11-3 so far this year. I think a lot of people just betting the home opener, seeing those results when fans still care. That's very valid. Tariq jumping on Denver first half. All right. That is NBA in review. Jose Bouquet, Warriors, minus 130. Brizzy on the Nuggets, plus 112. Brizzy versus Jose. Justin McKelvey on Jokic, 12 or more rebounds, and minus 105. But Justin says Pacers going to sniff 120. If they do that, they'll hit 47% from three because they're not getting any offensive boards. And that's possible. They can hit 45 plus from three. Definitely Aubrey. It's just basketball. It's just basketball that I'm certain I don't have an advantage. We got MMA Locker Room in the house with his action. I'll make sure I get this copied and pasted so we can talk about it for our NFL game. He's also on Braun over 13.5 points here. Then in game one, Brizzy on Wiggins over 15.5 points and rebounds, minus 120. And Pacers from Justin, Pacers team total over 111.5, as well as Siakam block at plus 135. God, this is fun. NBA capping is so much fun. That's why I needed to win last night so that I wasn't afraid to talk about it and trust it. And that's all. The money helps, yes, but confidence is key. Brizzy, thank you for your time, man. Tell us about UFC live stream on Saturday night.
Big UFC stream this week. It's a pay-per-view, UFC 321, and we're in Abu Dhabi. Tom Aspinall, Real Gone. Card starts at 10 a.m. here at Pub Sports Radio. You heard that right, 10 a.m. Main card starts at 2 p.m. So we're going to be going live all morning into the early afternoon here at Pub Sports Radio for UFC 321. Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane. Somebody called John Jones. Get him out of retirement. Aspinall's calling for you. Make this a quick one so we can see John Jones, Aspinall at the White House and break some records.
I love it, Brizzy. I'm going to pop your X handle in the chat. And we got you tonight rocking with us?
Yes, sirree. I only got one play on the Thursday night football game. And I'm with you on the whole Chargers shade thing. But the one thing that keeps cashing is Justin Herbert over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I just gotta stick to it. Just gotta stick to the passing touchdowns. And it's because of how many injuries they have. He keeps on going over on the passing touchdowns. I mean, that Colts game last week, it was like 30-0, and he still got the passing touchdown. So I'm just playing the passing touchdowns for Justin Herbert.
Well, come on early if you can before the game so you can drop that for all of our
yes, sir. We're going to do some deep dive into the touchdown props because there's some crazy odds on the touchdown board.
Oh, it's good. I'm nervous about the game already. It's fucking. But we battle, we fight, we grind. Brizzy, thank you for your time and energy, my man. I will be in touch. There he is, our guy, Biily, Brisbane. Will, we need you there, man. We need you there. When we're capping, we need you rocking with us. Jose, thank you for jumping on and all the work you do behind the scenes. Let's do a review of all action here, and then we'll put a bow on the proceedings. And the capping doesn't stop. It never stops. I just need an assistant for these goddamn records. Justin McKelvey, Pacers, team total over 111.5, minus 115, stacks play date, number one. Number two, Jokic, 12 or more rebounds, minus 105. Gorky, Vikings, money line at plus 130. He's also on Cervena, Zvezda, Dubai, money line, EuroLeague. I don't know what that is, but I know it's basketball. Talk Sports with JT, Indiana plus 7.5. Denver, money line. Siakam over 7.5 rebounds. That makes so much sense. Siakam's going to have to be, he's their hope. I mean, you guys, Isaiah Jackson going to get those boards? And Gordon over 14.5 points. BJ on the Chargers minus 3. Oh, God, I'm going to need him on the stream tonight. Slatsy on the Blackhawks plus 1.5, plus 108. I'm going up against Slatsy and Bobano on that one. I got to go get these bets in. I haven't bet them yet. I'm going to be on Lightning puck line. Unless it's moved 40 cents, but I'll deal with that shit. And I'll put it on X after I bet it. We have Bobano on Anaheim money line. Anaheim team total over 3 and the over 6. I like that look on the team total here. So I'm going to, the 3, getting that flat 3 is a pretty nice place to be. Three spots I'm up against Bobano. Number 2, he's on the Flyers money line. I'm going to be on the Senators -1. I get it. I completely understand his angle. I think Florida -1 is going to be on my card. I need to study it a little bit more. Pig Milk play of the day. Detroit and the Islanders. First period under 1.5 plus 110. And you know, Jose, you did such a great job putting this video together. Let's watch it one more time. It's so much fun sending you these crazy clips and seeing you put it all together. You're an artiste. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play today, St. Louis. I'm going to join him. Bobano's on that too, but we'll get there in a second. I'm very interested in the Red Wings. Expect to back them. I don't know what the hell's going on in Long Island. I got to sit with that a little bit longer. Detroit, New York Islanders over 6 for Ian Cameron. Ricky Levine on the Hurricanes money line, Philly, Pittsburgh parlay, and Kings under. Bobano on St. Louis to score a goal in the first period at -114. If Liljegren and Klingberg were in the Sharks lineup on defense, I'd be on them here. Money line, but can't. Bobano's on the Blues. As I said, Ron on the Blues. I'm going to be on the Blues. This is the third spot I'm up against Bobano. He's on my Vancouver Canucks. Right there. I'm not. I'm going to fade them against every fucking team in the National Hockey League now that they've lost 2 of their centers. We were just waiting. We're just like, when's Filipino going to break down? Oh, game 6. We have Bobano on the Kraken, team total under 2.5 -135. I like that. I kind of like the under. I do think I'll move on Jets -1. Yes, I'm going. No, I don't think it is at all, Will. I will touch on that here in a second. Bobano's on the Stars -1 plus 110. I'm interested in joining. Got to study a little bit more. Bobano's on the over 5.5 in Carolina, Colorado. No, that's the right line. I don't think there's anything fishy. The Hurricanes are the number 1 team in the National Hockey League, coming off their first loss to Vegas. So I'm gonna be on the Avalanche, and I'd probably be on it. I might even be on -1. I got to sit with that a little longer. Bobano is on the Habs. The Habs plus 1.5 -120 over 6. I might end up on the Oilers. I just hate the travel situation so much. 5-game Eastern swing. You come back for 1 game, so that may get me off of it. Bobano's on the over 52 in Ottawa. Hamilton will break these games in complete form tomorrow. He's also on the Rough Riders +8. Justin McCelvey's on Ladd McConkey over 55.5 receiving yards. Bobano's on the over 44 Minnesota LA Chargers. I am on the Vikings +3.5. Spooner is on the Vikings +3.5. Troy is on the Chargers -3. We'll discuss it all on our live stream tonight. Justin McCelvey's on Georgia State +6.5, -107. I'm going to work on that one. I may join him here. I'd love to see what's happened in that market. Cab's on Ole Miss +6. He's on Kansas -2.5. Vanderbilt -2.5, and A&M, Texas A&M -2.5. And then Andrew, who gave me that? I forget. I don't have the name up there. MMA Locker Room's on Hawkinson over 3.5 receptions, and Herbert anytime touchdown +330. Just my 2 cents. SGP for tonight is Herbert 200+ passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, Ladd 4+ receptions at +106, and we just went over NBA. Ulysses, it is so great to have you back, man. And Ulysses, back in the day, we talked about you joining us on screen for NHL breakdowns. I'd be very pleased to revisit that, my friend. It's so great to see you back in the chat. It's so great to see, these OG low baggers. I remember so often, when I was in Costa Rica capping with you, NHL, and it's great to see you in the chat, my man, Ulysses. Yes, Aubrey, it's a bit of an earlier close here.
What days and times do you be on, Jimmy?
Oh, yes, that is a good question. Right now, betting with the bags Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at noon. But the focus really is on NFL football here for me. I have Bankroll Blitz Tuesday at 8 p.m. I host the pregame and the first half of the live stream on Thursday nights, and I host the full live stream on Sunday and Monday, and we have Bankroll Blitz on Sunday mornings. That is my schedule at this point. I will not flush. It's probably good that you mentioned that now and not when Justin's on screen. Because he still went 2-2, but Embiid would have made him very angry. I'm sure watching Embiid lollygag up and down the court would have made him have to go outside and take a few breaths. JW, just my 2 cents. Nut Flush, Allen, Aubrey, Man, Bear, Pig, Ulysses Hayes, Rez Mob, Leon, aka Big Daddy Boom, Will Johnson, Chef Tony, you were on one today. You were great having chat. Love everything you bring. We have Stand on Biz. Thank you guys. Mr. Sparkle. Thank you. BJ, MMA Locker Room, Mickey Cohen, Tariq B, Spooner, The Juice. Thank you guys. Truly thank you. This battle, what up, Justin? This battle is, it depends on how you see your life, but it is probably the most important battle that you have to fight because it gives you everything that your family doesn't, that your friends don't. It gives you everything that's outside, everything that is for you, your bankroll and building this bankroll and having this life. And this battle never ends. And we have a village here working together to beat the books. And I'm very proud and thankful to be a part of it. I'm very thankful to rock with you, Jose, each and every day. Your work ethic inspires me. And I'm loving everything you're doing from a gambling standpoint. If I was where you are right now, when I was your age, I'd be an absolute monster. And you will become one. Just keep on the same track that you're on. We believe in you. Thank you for all you do. Can you please bless our action and send us into the future?
Yeah, speaking of monsters, Jimmy, the Spurs home opener, classic on a Sunday at 1 p.m. when there's football, so I won't be going to that. But Monday night, little Raptors Spurs, $20 to get in? Yes, sir. Come on. $20 to go see the MVP of the league? Oh, my God. Yeah, I'll take that. Shout out to my guy, Wemby, there as well.
40 and 15? Good God.
Yeah, on Anthony Davis. Yeah. I'm number one Victor Wembanyama guy right here. Just remember that, everyone. So I'll be there on Monday. So that'll be a whole lot of fun, hopefully, as well. So let's get after it, everyone. Come out tonight, Thursday night live stream. We'll be there. I'll be live betting as well with you guys joining early because I'm going to live bet that over, hopefully. Till then, let's get some money and let's leche. Elos Bookmaker.